This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, July 17, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announces several housing and reconstruction measures post-Hurricane Beryl. Opposition leader Mark Golding says he is skeptic about JPS's electricity restoration numbers. Agriculture Ministry announces a scaled-down version of the Denby Agricultural Show for this year. In regional news, CARICOM says Hurricane Beryl experience reinforces need for sustainable agriculture. In international news, Europe fears Donald Trump's VP pick could push transactional America First foreign policy. In sports, West Indies opener Brandon King has been picked up by the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. And in business, Caribbean Airlines launches new flight service from Trinidad to Puerto Rico. The details after the break.
Is there a small business person in your community making a big difference? Do they inspire you and others? How are they helping? Let the Supreme Ventures Foundation know who is your Supreme Community Hero. Nominate yours and we will select 5 community-based businesses to receive a grant to invest in their business and in the community, plus entrepreneurial training. So, who is your Supreme Community Hero? Visit sv-foundation.com to nominate your Supreme Community Hero now. Nominations close July 26.
This summer, transform your summer body with the Express Fitness Gym. For just $9,500 on AutoPay, you'll get access to all our locations 24/7. Enjoy free classes, fully air-conditioned facilities, showers, and changing rooms. Plus, our certified trainers are here to help you reach your goals. Visit Express Fitness Gym today. Your goal is our mission. Find a location near you or sign up now at pay.expressfitnessja.com.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced a raft of housing and reconstruction measures post-Hurricane Beryl. He detailed the measures in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Prime Minister Holness told the House that damage assessments have been completed on about 5,000 households across the country.
321 houses totally destroyed, 2,121 severely damaged, 2,711 minor damage, and a total assessment to date so far, 5,153 houses. With the exception of Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Elizabeth, assessments have been substantially completed, and it is estimated that assessment in these 3 parishes, that is Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Elizabeth, will require another week to complete. To get that assessment done quickly, we have deployed the DART team, that is a disaster assistance and recovery team from the JDF. We expect that within another week, we should be complete with the total assessment of housing damage.
He says the various social programs managed by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security will be leveraged to provide assistance to those worst affected by Beryl. These include the Rehabilitation Grants Program at an estimated cost of $200 million.
Under the Rehabilitation Grant Program, grants will be provided to micro-business operators. I use the term micro-business operators. To the small shops that were affected, that were totally wiped out their stock because of the hurricane. This is not going to be a general grant that everybody can apply for. You would have had to suffer loss, and the loss must be assessed, and then based upon the assessment, a grant will be approved. We are allocating for this 200 million Jamaican dollars to get back our small operators, shops, and micro-enterprise within communities to get them back up and running.
And under the National Insurance Scheme, the life certificate requirement for the August payment will be waived. The Prime Minister announced that through the assessment process, the ministry has increased targeting and identification of beneficiaries for its programs to include those collecting the social pension and people registered with the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, along with senior citizens. The Prime Minister says $1 billion has been allocated to provide grants and assistance for restoration, reconstruction, and relocation works.
The conditions that we have agreed is that all potential beneficiaries must be assessed. So, yes, there will be persons who have damage, but not every house that is damaged will qualify for grants for restoration, reconstruction, and relocation. Every beneficiary must be assessed. The criteria, we have established them, but we haven't finalized them. And we can't finalize them until we have the full assessment, because you want your criteria to match what you have assessed. In other words, you wouldn't want to have a criteria that doesn't fit what you have actually observed in the field.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And the Prime Minister has also announced several measures through the National Housing Trust NHT to assist with recovery from Hurricane Beryl.
There is the peril insurance for NHT mortgages. The NHT will give a moratorium for NHT mortgages, and there is a special home improvement loan for roof and home repairs due to the hurricane. And we will also give a special home grant for vulnerable NHT contributors who sustain damage. So for peril insurance for NHT mortgages, all NHT mortgages are covered by the NHT's blanket householders comprehensive policy, which includes coverage for damage caused by but not limited to fire, hurricane, windstorm, storm, tempest, cyclone, tornado, hail, full flood, and impact damage, however caused.
The Prime Minister says the NHT has already received a number of inquiries and claims since Hurricane Beryl. He says NHT will extend a moratorium to approved NHT mortgages for up to 6 months.
Mortgagors who have been affected by Hurricane Beryl and may need to prioritize urgent repairs to their property may apply for a brief moratorium of 3 to 6 months. This arrangement may facilitate some reprieve for persons recovering from the impact of the storm, especially as they prepare for back to school. Note that this special moratorium arrangement for mortgages impacted by the storm must be applied for. It is not a general moratorium. And of course, again, there would have to be an assessment of the impact on your income and your ability to recover from the impact of the storm.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has supplemented its resource pool with former employees in its effort to complete the restoration of power in several communities across the island. He says the JPS is also engaging local contractors from the bauxite industry in Hanover and St. Elizabeth.
The company is currently engaging CARILEC, that is the Caribbean Electric Utility Services Corporation, CARILEC, to provide support resources in the coming days. We should be getting line workers from countries such as Belize and Cayman, who will help JPS to address the outage pockets that exist within the island.
The Prime Minister says the restoration data provided by the JPS shows that the company is working hard to reconnect those customers who've been without power since Beryl passed the island.
It is important that we understand what the figure is saying. What this figure is saying is that the customer base, meaning those persons who have an account with the JPS, that it has been returned. It might be a surprise to many, Madam Speaker, when we start to look at magnitude, that St. Elizabeth itself accounts for approximately 5% of the customer base. And that is the challenge, Madam Speaker. So the customer base is highly concentrated in Kingston and St. Andrew, Spanish Town, Portmore, St. James. And that is because of the urban nature of electricity usage. So this is not to say that there are not significant areas that are without electricity.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Opposition leader Mark Golding is expressing skepticism about the JPS restoration numbers. He was reacting to news that JPS has restored power to 655,000 or 94.6% of its customer base.
I'm a little distrustful of the data, or I wouldn't say distrustful, skeptical is a better word. Skeptical of the data on the extent of the recovery that has so far been achieved. The reason being that when you're looking at percentages of customers who are once again being served, it isn't that meaningful, given that as a percentage of the overall customer base, given that the major population centers of the country were relatively unscathed by this hurricane. But in large swathes of communities in parishes across Jamaica, people are still without electricity and many are without water.
The opposition leader says the government shouldn't overplay the JPS numbers.
I noticed that you said, well, sections of this community or that community, light has been restored, but there are many sections of those communities which are still not yet having light. So I think we don't want to overplay the extent of the recovery, because for people who, on the ground who are seeing, the extent to which people are still without light, it's kind of grating to hear these very generous numbers, 90% and so on, when people are seeing so many communities and so many homes still without light.
Mark Golding, opposition leader. The Tourism Ministry has given approval for members of Parliament to utilize a portion of the $4 million allocated to boost community tourism to help relief efforts arising from Hurricane Beryl. Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett gave the approval while closing the 2024 sectoral debates in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. MPs in constituencies along the South Coast will be able to access the largest sum of their community allocation.
The Ministry of Tourism is advising that $2 million of the Spruce Up allocation, which we had announced earlier this year, we are allowing members of Parliament within the southern area, where the damages have been greatest, to use $2 million of the $4 for relief activities during this period.
The $4 million allocated to each MP was originally earmarked for tourism-specific community initiatives. St. Elizabeth, Manchester and Clarendon were among the worst affected parishes by Hurricane Beryl. But Minister Bartlett says MPs in other sections of the island will also be able to access relief support from the Community Tourism Support Fund.
Other MPs across Jamaica will be allowed to use $1 million of their allocation for Beryl relief activity. These efforts, of course, can include both goods and services that you may want to acquire and have towards alleviating the effect of the most affected members of your constituency in the area. Because, Madam Speaker, the tourism embrace is total and it covers the entire island, and workers are from every part of the island. They suffer in various ways, and any help that we can provide to add to the good work that the government is doing in this regard, we definitely will do so.
Edmund Bartlett, tourism minister. He was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. And the tourism minister says the country welcomed nearly 150,000 stopover and cruise visitors in the 11-day period following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The minister says this is evidence that Jamaica's tourism industry continues to be resilient in the face of external shocks.
Our tourism sector this year has shown growth and resilience, especially post-Beryl, as I indicated earlier. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to share that Jamaica has welcomed over 105,000 tourists since reopening our ports following Beryl's closure on July 2. So in 11 days, we brought 105,000 tourists on stopover now, not cruise. So when you add cruise to that, we have added nearly 150,000 visitors in 11 days.
Minister Bartlett was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. The minister says tourism arrival numbers also received a boost last weekend, attributed to visitors arriving for the upcoming staging of Reggae Sumfest.
We welcomed just a little over 40,000 people over the period. And that event is being staged in Montego Bay, April 14 to 20, and is expected to bring in some $20 million in earnings. The importance of these events as income-generating activities must not be underemphasized, because so many small players benefit from these festivals and cultural activities. I said April? I'm sorry, July 14 to 20.
That's the Tourism Minister, Edmund Bartlett. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says a scaled-down version of the annual Dembi Agricultural Show will be held this year. Minister Green made the announcement in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
There has been a lot of debate in relation to whether or not we should have a Dembi Agricultural Show this year. So having had discussions with the JAS, having had discussions with our stakeholders, having appreciated what has happened in relation to the agricultural sector, I'm pleased to announce that what we will have this year is a reshaped, scaled-down Dembi Agricultural Show under the theme, Building Back Through Resilience.
Minister Green says several activities will be packed into the one-day show.
For this year, we will have a one-day show focusing on farmers, that we will again look to host seminars on how to get back into production, specifically targeting our industry players, preparing greenhouse farmers for hurricane disaster mitigation. We will have discounts on farm inputs and giveaways from input suppliers, plus other packages for fishers and farmers. And we will also provide farmers and fishers who have not yet received benefit, who have not yet been assessed, to be able to come and to leave their information. So we will use the Dembi stage this year to build back our agricultural sector and really catapult that rebuilding process.
Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
When last you get good bun? You don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one.
Me too. Mother's bakery buns. A sub bun for nice. Try them today.
In regional and international news, Secretary General of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, says the experience of Hurricane Beryl proves the need for regional governments to make greater investments in sustainable agriculture. Dr. Barnett made the comment recently at the Caribbean Investment Forum. She told the forum that regional governments are united behind a vision of reducing the food import bill by 25% by 2025. She says this can be achieved through increased local production and enhanced intra-regional trade. Dr. Barnett says the CARICOM has made significant strides in this regard, with notable advancements in policy development, investment attraction, and risk reduction in the agriculture sector. International news: Donald Trump's choice of J.D. Vance as his vice presidential pick has reignited fears in Europe that he would pursue a transactional, America-first foreign policy that could culminate in the U.S. pushing for Ukraine to surrender to Vladimir Putin and sue for peace with Russia. The Guardian newspaper says foreign diplomats and observers have frequently called Trump's actual policies a black box, saying it was impossible to know for certain what the unpredictable leader would do when in power. According to The Guardian, some have soothed themselves by suggesting that names tipped for top positions, such as former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, would maintain a foreign policy status quo while Trump focuses on domestic affairs. But the feeling in the halls of power in Europe is that a prospective Trump administration now has a much more energetic surrogate who will fuel Trump's skepticism towards Ukraine and Europe, while urging on the party's aggressive trade and foreign policy elsewhere around the globe. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
At Design Privacy, we value relationships. Join our exclusive open DPO community and interact with privacy professionals. Share ideas, insightful challenges, and build career-boosting connections with expert advice at your fingertips. Get access to specialized tools, exclusive workshops, and case studies. Enjoy unparalleled networking. Join Design Privacy's open DPO community to expand your expertise and excel in your career. Visit opendpocommunity.com today and take your data privacy skills to the next level.
Feeling stuck in endless paperwork to secure a small business loan from a bank? Access Financial Services can unlock your growth with an SME loan. Borrow up to $20 million with easy requirements and fast approvals. Whether you are ready to boost productive capacity, get working capital, or acquire real estate, say goodbye to the hassle and hello to growth. Grow your business with an SME loan up to $20 million from Access Financial Services. Call 876-929-9253 or visit accessfinanceonline.com. Conditions apply.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Time now for your morning sports. West Indies opener Brandon King has been picked up by new franchise Antigua and Barbuda Falcons for this year's Caribbean Premier League CPL. The CPL is set to bowl off on August 29. King captained the now defunct Jamaica Tallawahs in last year's edition. Another Jamaican, Fabian Allen, was also drafted by the Falcons. Andre Russell, who is returning to the Trinbago Knight Riders, and Rovman Powell, captain of Barbados Royals, are the only other Jamaicans who have so far confirmed for the CPL. Guyana Amazon Warriors are the defending champions. Former assistant coach of Harborview, Sean Fraser, says he's in no hurry to get back into coaching club football. Fraser resigned as assistant coach after he was overlooked for the head coaching job at Harborview following the resignation of Ludlow Bernard. Bernard has transitioned into administration at Harborview. The five-time Jamaica Premier League champions promoted physical trainer Jason Henry to the head coach post. Fraser says he's waiting on the right opportunity.
If the right opportunity come tomorrow, I'll take it, just to say. But if it doesn't appear, then I'm not in any rush. I'm not going to call anybody phone and say, the atmosphere must be an atmosphere where you can learn and you can make mistakes. And, everywhere you go, you're going to have pressure because the football job is demanding. If you go in as a head coach, you don't have much time nowadays because if you could see in the big leagues, 4 or 5 games, if you don't do well, you're fired. So, if I go into any job right now, you definitely want a little bit more time so your philosophy can come out.
Fraser says he'll use the opportunity to concentrate on his coaching assignment at Hillel Academy.
Hillel Academy, so I'm going to enter Pepsi and coach for them. As I said, I'm going to continue being around football. I'm not sure if I'm going to accept any offers at this time, to come in and work with anybody. I just want to take some time off and focusing on developing my boys at Hillel because it's a different type of school up there that really, the football is not really their culture. So I'm trying to bring it to them here that you can both balance the football and academy.
Sean Fraser. A member of the organizing committee for the Red Stripe Flavors Netball Jamaica Elite League, Karen Rosenbaugh, says she's expecting keen battles in the semi-finals. Defending champions Manchester Spurs take on Kingston Hummingbirds in semi-final 1, while St. Catherine Racers will face St. James Sharps in semi-final 2. Rosenbaugh says the better coached teams will come out on top.
They've played each other before because each team plays the other twice. They have everything to play for. Spurs have only lost one match. Orchid actually is a team who beat them. So they can be beat, but they have been really exceptional so far. They have all to play for as well to see who comes out. It may come down to coaching and who wants it more, but we will see.
Karen Rosenbaugh. It's now time for the Nationwide Olympic Fact.
This is Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
Did you know that Herb McKinley is the first Jamaican to win a medal in the men's 100 meters at the Olympics? Yes, that's a fact. Herb McKinley won silver at the 1952 Games in Helsinki in the men's 100 meters.
That was Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
And that's it for your morning sports.
With so much to do in one location, make Megamart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy. All in one amazing location. My Megamart, the best value by far.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best, you are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome, that's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way. You got the taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh fun. Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
In business this morning, Caribbean Airlines has launched its new flight service from Trinidad and Tobago to San Juan in Puerto Rico. In a release to the media, Caribbean Airlines announced that its inaugural flight to San Juan left Piarco International Airport in TNT on Sunday, July 14. It says this new route is part of the airline's strategic plan to enhance connectivity within the Caribbean region. The airline says flights to San Juan will operate 3 times weekly on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays from the airline's base in TNT with convenient connections to other destinations. CEO of Caribbean Airlines, Garvin Madeira, says this new route is a significant step in the airline's growth strategy and underscores their commitment to enhancing regional connectivity. The Board of Directors of Access Financial Services Limited, AFS, has announced Michael Shaw as its new executive chairman. Shaw, a former banking executive who has over 30 years' experience in the local and international financial sector, was first appointed to the board in June 2020. His appointment comes after the board approved a request from Marcus James for a 1-year leave of absence from the role of executive chairman, effective June 27 this year. The AFS board says James, who is taking time off for personal reasons, will remain a member of the board. Meanwhile, in addition to Shaw's appointment, the AFS board has appointed Charmaine Boyd Walker as chairman of the board's Audit and Risk Assessment Committee. The committee was previously chaired by Marcus James. The board has also appointed Legal and Corporate Affairs Manager Carla Stevens Mullings as a company secretary effective July 9 this year. This follows the resignation of Sherry Murray. In foreign exchange trading now, the Jamaican dollar lost 42 cents on Tuesday and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $157.14 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar has lost 20 cents and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $116.01 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has also lost $1.04 and will open trading today, selling for an average $204.51 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
For all your musical needs, visit the Music Mart, the most complete music store in Jamaica. Telephone 876-960-7712. The time brought to you by the Music Mart is
6:31.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
The Jamaica Observer is always ahead. But did you know we're also number one by far? With over 18 million page views on our website, over 800,000 followers on Instagram, and a following of over 500,000 followers on Twitter,
we're tapping into an audience like no other.
And the numbers don't lie. Contact the Jamaica Observer team today to reach your target audience. Give us a call at 470-9172 to advertise with us.
The number one by far.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is now accepting applications for the Dr. Barry Wint Memorial Scholarship. Jamaican citizens pursuing a first degree, master's or PhD in any health-related field, including medical social work, human resources for health, nursing, dentistry, health economics, or any other, can qualify for up to $1 million per year for 5 years to complete their studies. Visit www.moh.gov.jm/scholarship for more details and to submit your application. Deadline date is Wednesday, July 31, 2024. We look forward to seeing your application.
Attention all commuters, your JUTC fares just got lower. Use your Smarter card today and pay only $50. Yes, only $50. Travel safe and hassle-free with the JUTC using your Smarter card. But wait, there's more. Get 3 free rides with your first Smarter card top-up before May 31. With your Smarter card, paying your fare is easier. Say goodbye to coins and hello to hassle-free travel. Don't miss this opportunity when you travel with the JUTC, your route to excellence. Conditions apply.
Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted, don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. Together, all I know, love will save the day. Herald what your mother said, read the books your father read, trying to solve the puzzles in your own sweet time. Some may have more cash than you, others take a different view. My, oh my, yeah. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together.
So when you're grooving on the song.
The mic long time with a weed power. You don't want the weed.
Well, I wasn't gonna sing.
Oh, you were? Oh, man.
I was not going to sing.
Oh, I thought you said you were.
I was not going to sing.
I'm gonna say, dang.
Open the mic to say hello to all of you who have joined us this morning. Good morning to our YouTubers, our peeps out there in Radio Land. Good morning to you if you're joining us on the app and the website. Hello to you. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. It is Wednesday, July 17, 2024. Again, this is Nationwide This Morning, NTM. I'm Tana Thomas.
And my name is George. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey to you, George.
Yeah, man.
And hey as well, George, to our 100 new subscribers.
Hi.
Yeah, we're not 17,400 is what I'm seeing on the channel. So that's 100 up from yesterday. So to all our new subbies, good morning to you. And as I always say when I talk about our new subscribers and the channel, ensure that you click the notification bell so you're notified every time we post content over here on the Nationwide 90 FM live channel. To our oldie but goodies, if you know someone out there, they have not yet subscribed to the new Nationwide 90 FM live channel, encourage them to do so. Encourage them to come on over and click subscribe and watch our content and engage with all the hosts here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Good morning to you, our YouTubers. I do see you, D Muzz. Hello to you as well, Wilbert Davis, Kurt Buchanan, Albert Morgan, Jacqueline Thomas, who calls me Tuna. Good morning to you, Jacqueline. I hope you're having a good morning. I believe Jacqueline is our YouTuber who comes down annually for Sumfest.
Mm-hmm.
So are you coming down this year again, Jacqueline? Good morning to you. And good morning as well to Neville Marshall, Shines Law boss, Cindy Lynch. Hello to you. Hope you're all doing well.
Well, indeed.
Yeah. So, George.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what you made of a particular highlight coming out of the JCF's press briefing yesterday. That highlight having to do with one of the directors over at the Integrity Commission, who unfortunately was shot last year. And the police had come out to say their initial indication is that the motive may have been a robbery. Then the Integrity Commission, in its annual report, indicated that it's been a year, they haven't gotten any updates, what's going on from the police's end on the matter. Yesterday, now you had DCP Fitzbailey, who is in charge of the crime portfolio at the JCF, giving us an update on the matter, saying that the director has not come forward to provide a formal report on the matter, which is kind of stalling the JCF going forward with its probe into the shooting incident from last year. So we've gotten more information as to why the JCF hasn't proceeded further with the matter. And I was wondering to myself if the director hadn't indicated any of that. First of all, I don't think that the information should have been in an annual report from the Integrity Commission. But having learned what I learned yesterday, I was wondering if none of that information wasn't made available to the Integrity Commission before it puts its that aspect of its annual report together. Because I'm wondering what informed the Integrity Commission going ahead to say what it said. They didn't know that information before putting that information in the annual report.
All I'll say is that knowing the Integrity Commission report, they're going to say the police got it wrong. And the police got wrong information with what they said. The Integrity Commission will never admit that it gets anything wrong. Never.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine what the commissioner said yesterday of police. The Integrity Commission was based on its information. The police got information. And I'm not being cynical, folks. Look at how the Integrity Commission has trended. There are things that appear obvious to us that, this is the situation or this is the case. Same thing. It seems open and shut, but the Integrity Commission always comes with something. It is never wrong. It never speaks out of turn. Whatever it says is the gospel truth. So if the Integrity Commission says that the police have not made any progress with the investigation or given it any update, the police now come and say, well, it's because Mr. Evans, right?
Ryan Evans.
Mr. Evans did not give us information. I'm sure the Integrity Commission will have something to say about that.
Because naturally I'm thinking, if I'm in an organization and I'm about to put out a report on my work for the year, let's use nationwide, and I have a staffer here who something happened to, I'm about to put an update in my report in relation to that staffer. I'm going to come to you and ask you, hey, George,
correct,
what's the update on your situation?
Absolutely right.
So I'm informed about what I'm putting in my report about you, George.
Which is exactly why
I don't get that impression that was done.
Which is why I'm saying that the Integrity Commission will say, if it chooses to speak, perhaps in the next annual report, it will say that what the police said is balderdash because it grounded its opinions before it made comments in the annual report. So whatever the police say, you can just disregard that.
Yeah, I found that curious.
More than curious, Donna. The incident happened a year ago, right?
A year ago.
About a year ago.
Yeah.
The issue of this morning, but 6:42. Mr. King, how much time we have left?
He's not giving us 2 extra minutes.
So here's the thing. What happened in the US last Saturday has given me cause to talk about and think about the security of our leaders in the country. The way we practice politics in Jamaica, it's a relaxed culture. It is consistent with how we are as a people.
And as you go down that line, when you're done, George, I'm going to make a point just on that as well. Of an experience I've had in relation to that.
We've been doing politics since elections since 1944, first general, and in the 80 years now since that time, attacks on political leaders or politicians, you can count them on one hand. There's one that was fatal. We all know that one that we speak about. But nothing of the kind that we've seen throughout U.S. history. And nothing of the kind we saw last Saturday where Trump came within a millimeter of dying, of being killed rather. Yeah? Jamaicans don't get enough credit for how civilized our politics is, notwithstanding the history of violence in the politics itself. And the clock is my end because I had a whole roadmap, but I'm not going to take the time to, because we're going to go way over. So I'll just say that we don't get enough credit for how well or the health of the democracy in Jamaica. And there are people inside and outside who will say that the US practices safer politics than we do, when the evidence doesn't support that. Not denying that our politics has significant episodes of violence in it. 76 and 80 were not normal times. 80 was extraordinary by any measure. But if you take the whole of it together, and our 80 years of elections and campaigning for office and all of that, we have done very, very well. And I don't think that outside of 1980 and outside of 1976, we had politicians campaigning and jumping at every car muffler that backfired on the road. But yeah, I'll drop this again another time, listeners. Perhaps on Friday morning when I'm sitting in for Cliff Hughes Online and I have the time, I'll go through what I have in my head.
Yeah, and a little later on too, if we have the time, I believe we may at 8:20. I'll say what I wanted to say in relation to that as well, George. We're going to take a break and come back with more.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:45.
I stay locked into Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican.
I tune into the Olympics, but I'm always busy. What have to know when Sharika Jackson beat Shakari?
She's storming to victory here. Watch the clock. This is so fast.
Brother, I have to see every notification for the Olympics. Me, who want to hear every run.
The Jamaican's coming. He's closing. What a performance.
Every jump and every fling. Oh, wow. Oh, that is live. Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while I'm driving,
Thompson Hera from 60 odd, moving away, and she gets the victory.
She's jogging. Or at work.
Hurry, the race is about to start.
We can't miss a beat.
Oh, me?
Because we keep it locked.
To the only station for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide.
90 FM.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school? And now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less,
or two or three,
at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease and high blood pressure. The solution is simple, right? Act now. Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
When last you get good bun? You don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too.
Mother's Bakery Buns. A so bun for nice. Try them today.
I pursue opportunities.
I prepare for opportunities.
I plan for opportunities.
With Sagicor e-Invest, you can prepare, plan for and pursue IPO opportunities. Browse IPOs, review IPO details and prospectuses. Select and apply for a featured IPO. IPO with Sagicor e-Invest. Think wealth. Visit sagicor.com.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
And just before going to Street Smart with Ludlow McLean, YouTuber Leroy Rutty is telling me it's not Jackie Thomas, it's not Jacqueline, it's Juliet. Mixing up my YouTubers. It's Juliet Sanchez who comes down annually to go to Sumfest. So good morning to you, Juliet Sanchez. Hope you're having a good morning. And good morning again to you, Jackie and Leroy Rutty. And hello to you. Good morning to you, Gwendolyn Burton, who listens to NNN every day, all throughout the day. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Hey to you as well, Ludlow. What's happening on the nation's roads?
All right, morning. Who's with you?
Guess Ludlow. Guess. Guess who it is.
No, I didn't catch who was there, so I don't want to talk.
What's happening on the streets, Ludlow?
All right. Well, the streets are busy this morning, but as I tell you, it's busy, but you can move around. Even coming out of Spanish Town, a lot of traffic coming on the bypass and out of Old Harbour Road and heading towards the Mandela eastbound. Westbound, not a problem, but eastbound has the bulk of the traffic at this point in time. And, oh boy, the minibuses are something else. Tell you. You have to be very careful of these buses, motorists. But in the meantime, the traffic flow along the boulevard now is also easygoing. You see a lot of people at the bus stops, a lot of waiting for buses to pick them up or taxis. But it's no problems, I would say, at this point in time. Yesterday was really a problem, though. There was heavy rainfall, and I heard about a slight earthquake, but I didn't feel it or anything. But it was really busy yesterday, and let's hope we have a better afternoon. Whether you're in Portmore yesterday or in Spanish Town, it was really something else. Old Harbour was really something else. But for the time in motorists, you can move around in most places. The intersections is what you need to look out for. They're busy right now, quite active. All right, support for the morning. It's back to you, Donna.
Thank you so much, Ludlow, for that first report. And yes, there was indeed a minor earthquake that was felt in sections of the island yesterday afternoon. And the earthquake unit at UWI says the tremor registered a magnitude 3.7. Up next, your word of the day.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day, you'll like this one. It's spelled Parsimonious, spelled Parsimonious.
Parsimonious. Parsimonious. Parsimonious.
Parsimonious is your word of the day. It's an adjective, so it's a descriptive word. Parsimonious, meaning simply very unwilling to spend money or use resources. Parsimonious is your word of the day. Some synonyms could be frugal, stinting, sparing, stingy, mingy, Parsimonious is your word of the day, spelled Parsimonious. And let's see what dictionary.com is telling us about parsimonious this morning. It says parsimonious was first recorded between 1590 and 1600. Between 1590 and 1600, parsimonious. And to use it in a sentence, despite his wealth, he lived a parsimonious lifestyle, preferring simple pleasures over extravagant indulgences. Another for you, I was known for my parsimonious spending habits, rarely splurging on anything unnecessary. Parsimonious is your word of the day, meaning again, very unwilling to spend money or use resources. I can see how you guys can use this one. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Feline panleukopenia virus, or FPV, also commonly referred to as feline distemper, is a highly contagious and life-threatening viral disease in the cat population. This virus affects the rapidly dividing blood cells in the body, primarily the cells in the intestinal tract, bone marrow, and skin. The name means pan, all, leuco, white blood cells, penia, lack of, meaning that all of the body's defense cells are killed by the virus. Because the blood cells are under attack, this virus can lead to an anemic condition. This leaves your cat's body open to infections from other illnesses, viral or bacterial. In Pets World today, symptoms and treatment of feline panleukopenia virus, also known as FPV. The causative virus of FPV is very resilient and can survive for years in contaminated environments, so vaccination is the best preventative tool available. Kittens between the ages of 2 to 6 months are at highest risk for developing severe disease symptoms, as well as pregnant and immune-compromised cats. In adult cats, panleukopenia usually occurs in a mild form and may even go unnoticed. Fortunately, cats who survive this infection are immune to any further infection with this virus. Proactive and integrative wellness veterinarian and host of the Mercola Health Pets YouTube channel, Dr. Karen Becker, says the symptoms of FPV are similar to other diseases. Therefore, tests by a veterinarian are necessary to rule them out.
In affected cats, FPV causes symptoms similar to those seen in canine parvovirus, including vomiting, diarrhea that can be bloody, profound dehydration, a refusal to eat, lots of weight loss, a very high fever, anemia, depression, so the kitty will hide, and neurologic symptoms if the virus attacks the brain. Since feline panleukopenia has symptoms similar to those seen in several other conditions, including poisonings, feline leukemia, feline immunodeficiency virus, and pancreatitis, it'll be really important for your veterinarian to rule those things out first.
Dr. Becker says affected cats will require immediate attention and treatment, and often hospitalization and isolation from other cats.
Unfortunately, there are no antiviral protocols specific for FPV. So the only way kitty can survive is if she can be kept alive until her immune system is able to recover and throw the infection off. At a minimum, this requires aggressive IV fluids to prevent dehydration, and it also requires the veterinarian to control opportunistic intestinal bacteria. Depending on the kitty's symptoms, other medications may be required, including expectorants to help manage bronchitis or pneumonia, antiemetics, which are anti-vomiting agents, and whole blood transfusions for a dangerously low anemia problem.
Dr. Karen Becker, proactive and integrative wellness veterinarian and host of YouTube channel Mercola Health Pets. Vaccination is the most important tool in the prevention of panleukopenia. Luckily, the vaccine is so effective that just one dose prevents most infections. That's it for Pets World. Until next time.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Ever wonder if you smell? Self-conscious about the way you smell? Tempted to smell yourself in public? I'm Tana, and today on Lifestyle Pages, I'll give you a few tips on how to control your body odor. Take care of your personal hygiene and it will take care of you. Keep yourself squeaky clean. Shower at least once per day. This will wash away any body odor causing bacteria that may harbor on your skin. Use antibacterial soap. This will assist in reducing bacteria on the skin, hence reducing your body odor. When you go shopping for soaps, make sure to look for the word antibacterial on the packaging. Dry skin thoroughly. Don't only use the wash rag on your skin. Use a dry towel as well. If the skin is dry, then it's less likely to cause bacteria multiplying. You might also want to change your deodorant. Choose one that has antiperspirants on the label. This will help keep sweat away. Change your clothes regularly. It is recommended to wear cotton fiber clothes because this allows your skin to breathe, keeping you drier and odor-free. Lastly, drink plenty of water. I'm Tana, and those were your lifestyle pages today.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Team Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
From Negril Point to Morant Bay, a little kindness can go a far way. The time by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is...
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 this morning, Wednesday, July 17, 2024, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announces several housing and reconstruction measures post-Hurricane Beryl. The opposition leader, Mark Golding, says he's skeptical about the JPS's power restoration numbers. The Agriculture Ministry will host a scaled-down version of the Denbury Agricultural Show this year. And in international news, Europe fears Donald Trump's VP pick could push transactional America First foreign policy.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced a raft of housing and reconstruction measures post-Hurricane Beryl. He detailed the measures in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Tona Thomas reports.
Prime Minister Holness told the House that damage assessments have been completed on about 5,000 households across the country.
321 houses totally destroyed, 2,121 severely damaged, 2,711 minor damage, and a total assessment to date so far, 5,153 houses. With the exception of Manchester, Clarendon and St. Elizabeth, assessments have been substantially completed, and it is estimated that assessment in these three parishes, that is Manchester, Clarendon and St. Elizabeth, will require another week to complete. To get that assessment done quickly, we have deployed the DART team, that is a disaster assistance and recovery team from the JDF. We expect that within another week, we should be complete with the total assessment of housing damage.
He says the various social programs managed by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security will be leveraged to provide assistance to those worst affected by Beryl. These include the Rehabilitation Grants Program at an estimated cost of $200 million.
Under the Rehabilitation Grant Program, grants will be provided to micro-business operators. I use the term micro-business operators. To the small shops that were affected, that were totally wiped out their stock because of the hurricane. This is not going to be a general grant that everybody can apply for. You would have had to suffer loss, and the loss must be assessed, and then based upon the assessment, a grant will be approved. We are allocating for this 200 million Jamaican dollars to get back our small operators, shops and micro-enterprise within communities, to get them back up and running.
And under the National Insurance Scheme, the life certificate requirement for the August payment will be waived. The Prime Minister announced that through the assessment process, the ministry has increased targeting and identification of beneficiaries for its program to include those collecting the social pension and people registered with the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, along with senior citizens. The Prime Minister says $1 billion have been allocated to provide grants and assistance for restoration, reconstruction, and relocation works.
The conditions that we have agreed is that all potential beneficiaries must be assessed. So, yes, there will be persons who have damage, but not every house that is damaged will qualify for grants for restoration, reconstruction, and relocation. Every beneficiary must be assessed. The criteria, we have established them, but we haven't finalized them. And we can't finalize them until we have the full assessment, because you want your criteria to match what you have assessed. In other words, you wouldn't want to have a criteria that doesn't fit what you have actually observed in the field.
Tawna Thomas for Nationwide News.
And the Prime Minister has also announced several measures through the National Housing Trust NHT to assist with recovery from Hurricane Beryl.
There is the peril insurance for NHT mortgages. The NHT will give a moratorium for NHT mortgages, and there is a special home improvement loan for roof and home repairs due to the hurricane. And we will also give a special home grant for vulnerable NHT contributors who sustain damage. So for peril insurance for NHT mortgages, all NHT mortgages are covered by the NHT's blanket house owners comprehensive policy, which includes coverage for damage caused by but not limited to fire, hurricane, windstorm, storm, tempest, cyclone, tornado, hail, full flood, and impact damage, however caused.
The Prime Minister says the NHT has already received a number of inquiries and claims since Hurricane Beryl. He says NHT will extend a moratorium to approved NHT mortgages for up to 6 months.
Mortgagors who have been affected by Hurricane Beryl and may need to prioritize urgent repairs to their property may apply for a brief moratorium of 3 to 6 months. This arrangement may facilitate some reprieve for persons recovering from the impact of the storm, especially as they prepare for back to school. Note that this special moratorium arrangement for mortgages impacted by the storm must be applied for. It is not a general moratorium. And of course, again, there would have to be an assessment of the impact on your income and your ability to recover from the impact of the storm.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness speaking about the NHT moratorium. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has supplemented its resource pool with former employees in its effort to complete the restoration of power in several communities across the island. He says the JPS is also engaging local contractors from the bauxite industry in Hanover and St. Elizabeth.
The company is currently engaging CARILEC, that is the Caribbean Electric Utility Services Corporation, CARILEC, to provide support resources in the coming days. We should be getting line workers from countries such as Belize and Cayman who will help JPS to address the outage pockets that exist within the island.
The Prime Minister says the restoration data provided by the JPS shows that the company is working hard to reconnect those customers who've been without power since Beryl passed the island.
It is important that we understand what the figure is saying. What this figure is saying is that the customer base, meaning those persons who have an account with the JPS, that it has been returned. It might be a surprise to many, Madam Speaker, when we start to look at magnitude, that St. Elizabeth itself accounts for approximately 5% of the customer base. And that is a challenge, Madam Speaker. So the customer base is highly concentrated in Kingston and St. Andrew, Spanish Town, Portmore, St. James. And that is because of the urban nature of electricity usage. So this is not to say that there are not significant areas that are without electricity.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The opposition leader Mark Golding is expressing skepticism about the JPS restoration numbers. He was reacting to news that JPS has restored power to 655,000 or 94.6% of its customer base.
I'm a little distrustful of the data, or I wouldn't say distrustful, skeptical is a better word. Skeptical of the data on the extent of the recovery that has so far been achieved. The reason being that when you're looking at percentages of customers who are once again being served, it isn't that meaningful, given that as a percentage of the overall customer base, given that the major population centers of the country were relatively unscathed by this hurricane. But in large swathes of communities in parishes across Jamaica, people are still without electricity and many are without water.
The opposition leader says the government shouldn't overplay the JPS numbers.
I noticed that you said, well, sections of this community or that community, light has been restored, but there are many sections of those communities which are still not yet having light. So I think we don't want to overplay the extent of the recovery, because for people who, on the ground who are seeing, the extent to which people are still without light, it's kind of grating to hear these very generous numbers, 90% and so on, when people are seeing so many communities and so many homes still without light.
Mark Golding, opposition leader. Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett says the country welcomed nearly 150,000 stopover and cruise visitors in the 11-day period following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The minister says this is evidence that Jamaica's tourism industry continues to be resilient in the face of external shocks.
Our tourism sector this year has shown growth and resilience, especially post-Beryl, as I indicated earlier. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to share that Jamaica has welcomed over 105,000 tourists since reopening our ports following Beryl's closure on July 2. So in 11 days, we brought 105,000 tourists on stopover now, not cruise. So when you add cruise to that, we have added nearly 150,000 visitors in 11 days.
Minister Bartlett was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He says tourism arrival numbers also received a boost last weekend due to visitors arriving for the upcoming staging of Reggae Sumfest.
We welcomed just a little over 40,000 people over the period. And that event is being staged in Montego Bay, April 14 to 20, and is expected to bring in some $20 million in earnings. The importance of these events as income-generating activities must not be underemphasized, because so many small players benefit from these festivals and cultural activities. I said April? I'm sorry, July 14 to 20.
Ed Bartlett, Tourism Minister. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says a scaled-down version of the annual Dembi Agricultural Show will be held this year. Minister Green made the announcement in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
There has been a lot of debate in relation to whether or not we should have a Dembi Agricultural Show this year. So having had discussions with the JAS, having had discussions with our stakeholders, having appreciated what has happened in relation to the agricultural sector, I'm pleased to announce that what we will have this year is a reshaped, scaled-down Dembi Agricultural Show under the theme, Building Back Through Resilience.
Minister Green says several activities will be packed into the one-day show.
For this year, we will have a one-day show focusing on farmers, that we will again look to host seminars on how to get back into production, specifically targeting our industry players, preparing greenhouse farmers for hurricane disaster mitigation. We will have discounts on farm inputs and giveaways from input suppliers, plus other packages for fishers and farmers. And we will also provide farmers and fishers who have not yet received benefit, who have not yet been assessed, to be able to come and to leave their information. So we will use the Dembi stage this year to build back our agricultural sector and really catapult that rebuilding process.
Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has put criminals on fresh notice that the JCF will spare no effort to bring them before the courts to answer various charges. Speaking at a press conference on Tuesday, Commissioner Blake says those who use force to repel the efforts of the police must be prepared for strong retaliation.
We will disrupt your criminal activities and isolate you. We will come for you. When we do, we encourage you to lay down arms and surrender willingly. If you meet us with aggression, we will respond with superior force and we will win because we are smarter, we are better trained and better resourced. We will be relentless in pursuing, capturing, building airtight cases for your conviction and of those who support and sympathize with you. The JCF urges anyone with information on the whereabouts of criminals to come forward as part of a collective effort to ensure justice and restore peace.
Up to July 13 this year, the country recorded 626 homicides. That's 103 fewer than the corresponding period in 2023. The police chief says there's also been a significant increase in gun seizures.
Overall, there has been an almost 12% decrease in major crimes since the start of 2024. Notably, murders have decreased by 14.5% as of July 15, 2024. Shootings are down almost 2%. Robberies are down 15% for the same corresponding period. Rapes are down 32%. Break-ins, 6% decrease. We're also reaping more success in the seizure of illegal firearms. As of June 30, 2024, we recorded a 14% increase in gun seizures, taking in 422 illegal firearms off the streets and our communities. And these are mainly pistols.
Dr. Kevin Blake, Police Commissioner. Overseas news now. Donald Trump's choice of J.D. Vance as his vice presidential pick has reignited fears in Europe that he would pursue a transactional America First foreign policy that could culminate in the U.S. pushing for Ukraine to surrender to Vladimir Putin and sue for peace with Russia. The Guardian newspaper in London says foreign diplomats and observers have frequently called Trump's actual policies a black box, saying it was impossible to know for certain what the unpredictable leader would do when in power. According to The Guardian, some have soothed themselves by suggesting that names tipped for top positions, such as former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, would maintain a foreign policy status quo while Trump focuses on domestic affairs. But the feeling in the halls of power in Europe is that a prospective Trump administration now has a much more energetic surrogate who will fuel Trump's skepticism towards Ukraine and Europe while urging on the party's aggressive trade and foreign policy elsewhere around the globe. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:16.
At Design Privacy, we value relationships. Join our exclusive open DPO community and interact with privacy professionals. Share ideas, insightful challenges, and build career-boosting connections with expert advice at your fingertips. Get access to specialized tools, exclusive workshops, and case studies. Enjoy unparalleled networking. Join Design Privacy's open DPO community to expand your expertise and excel in your career. Visit opendpocommunity.com today and take your data privacy skills to the next level.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best, you are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome, that's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way. You got the taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. What's the state of play on the roads, my friend?
Morning. It's the state of the road right now, and vehicular flow and all of that. It's, I would say, reasonable in terms of depending on where you are, I should say. Those of you who are coming off that Forest Hills foot of Radius, they're heading onto Radius Road, and by extension onto Mullines Road, you'll find the traffic flow quite okay until you get to past the Western District Post Office, that's the Kingston 20 Post Office. You'll find the traffic building there. But going down Radius Road, you'll find the traffic also flowing steadily. And then into that vicinity of the overpass by Constance, by Dunrobin and Washington Boulevard, then going around to Eastern Park Road. And already from this morning, Dunrobin Avenue building, it has built up significantly now. Manor Park, as in the Kingston A, coming down, slowing down Constance Spring Road, that's also steady until you get close to going past West Kings House Road, going past South Avenue, and then into Apple Tree, where the traffic flow is much heavier in that space. And going down Apple Tree Road, however, is steady. I should also say that places like Lyndhurst Road is moving quite freely, and if you're going up Maxfield Avenue, only when you're trying to make that right turn up Eastwood Park Road and then making it onto South Odeon Avenue. But by and large, as I said this morning, it's mainly the intersections that are busy with traffic. But then once you get that light, it's pretty good going. And I have no doubt that later on during the course of the morning, you'll have a little heavier traffic flow. Not so sure what is going to happen this afternoon. If we have another rain, then you know what the traffic situation will be in the corporate area. That's it. It's our second report, and as usual, it's Street Smart. Your safety is our concern. George, over to you.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow McLean there with Street Smarts to the final one for the morning. Up next, Front Page.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned into our discussion segment, The Front Page. So, Director of Innovation and Research at Smith Warner International, Dr. David Smith, says national infrastructure should be built to withstand the lashings of more frequent and more intense storms. Smith Warner International is the largest Caribbean firm specializing in coastal engineering and coastal zone management. Sections of Jamaica's southern coast were badly damaged damaged by the passage of Hurricane Beryl on Wednesday, July 3. Several meters of retaining walls on coastal roads were damaged, including a section of the Southern Coastal Highway in St. Thomas. Another area that was severely impacted was the Helsher Beach in St. Catherine, with many of the popular spots being destroyed by strong storm surge and heavy winds. Dr. Smith says the aged 1 in 50-year model for sea defense systems needs to be upgraded to match climate science.
1970, we may have said, it's probably adequate to design a sea defense structure for the worst hurricane in 50 years or worst storm in 50 years. But based on what we're seeing today with climate change, I don't think that is, when it comes to national infrastructure, right, like major roads, seaports, airports, that sort of thing, hospitals, fire stations, and so on, I don't believe that protective infrastructure should be designed for 1 in 50 years, because what the science is now telling us is that event has the potential to occur frequently.
There have been calls on social media for the government to declare the area a disaster zone and to prohibit building along the Helsher coastline until the beach returns. However, if this is done, the livelihoods of many residents in Helsher would be affected. So, should the restaurants and popular entertainment spots along the Helsher Beach be rebuilt or not? To answer, we're joined by Director of Innovation and Research at Smith Warner International, Dr. David Smith, and the MP for Southern St. Catherine, Fitz Jackson. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, George.
Fitz, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, hearing you now. Good morning.
Okay. Not so well, but I think I'm strong enough to speak.
Oh, you look like you're battling the flu?
Fitz. Yes.
Yeah, you and a couple others. Yeah. All right. We know that you'll remedy yourself. All right. Here's the thing now, gentlemen. Dr. Smith, I want to start this way. Okay. In 2012, Smith Warner was contracted, I think, by Lime, the Flow, now Lime then, to look into how the beach at Helsher could be reinvigorated, for use of a unscientific term. From what came of the work that Smith Warner did at that time, and is there any benefit to the study having been done?
George, thanks for bringing me on. I much appreciate it. So, yes, we did that project in 2012 for Lime, as you said. And I think the main benefit coming out of that was that it gave us a very good intermediate point for the condition of Helsher Beach, both physical and social, right? We saw, for instance, that since 2002, let's say, and in particular after 2007, after Hurricane Bean, which caused a lot of damage to Helsher Beach, they had lost, over that 20-year period, they had lost about 2 to 3, so 10 feet between 6 and 10 feet of beach per year. So it's quite a lot of beach loss, right? No, so Hurricane Beryl came along on the 3rd of July, and it created a lot more damage. But we have a good baseline understanding of the way that waves come in, the way that currents are moved, what sediments are, how sediments redistribute along that coastline.
The reason I started with the study, Dr. Smith, is because usually when we have problems like these, people say, well, let's do a study to see what the scope of the problem is and begin from that to fashion a solution. Mm-hmm. So if from 2012 we did work and we had the data in hand to tell us what to do to preserve what we had and even to cause the beach to retake its natural area, that has not happened. So it would suggest as if the study was not put to good use.
The recommendations in the study, George, have not really been implemented, unfortunately. And I think that's due to a number of reasons, due to funding, perhaps due to insufficient community outreach, a number of things. But the recommendations were never implemented in a full way. And so what I see now from after Hurricane Beryl is that perhaps those recommendations should be updated and revised themselves.
Yeah,
right?
And if you could,
the scene has changed.
And if you could remind us, Dr. Smith, of what the key recommendations were.
Okay, Tona. So they, at the time, they were to construct a submerged breakwater offshore to protect the area that's been subject to the most erosion, and to do some beach nourishment, to try to bring the beach back out to where it was, 20, 30 years ago when people would play cricket and football on the beach and stuff. You can't do that anymore, of course. There's no beach in front of those restaurants any longer.
Fitzjackson, you've been in situ in South St. Catherine for a long time now, and it would have been in the period when the recommendations would have still been fresh. Why no implementation?
I'm quite familiar with that exercise.
Yes.
I was engaged along with the Half Moon Bay Fishing Cooperative, who, by the way, together initiated that project with Lime. How it is that they provided got some sponsorship from Lime and some promotional opportunity at the beach, and Lime came on board in a very awesome way to finance that study that Dr. Smith referenced. Yes, Dr. Smith is correct. The study was done, and the plain truth is that we couldn't get the investment to act on the recommendation.
How much investment you needed at the time?
Oh, boy. No, let me not answer that. It was a significant
Dr. Smith, you remember the figure. The figure is important to put things into context.
I'm sorry.
But big numbers you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it was large enough, yes. I mean, in a community setting, yes.
Put it this way, George. It's not something that could be financed at the local level.
Mm-hmm.
It would require, because of the size of the capital investment, it would require central government. It's a matter that I've raised with both the Prime Minister. I've raised it with the Minister of Tourism. They're breaking up the currents in that Dr. Smith mentioned of. I use one of my allocations from the Ministry of Tourism because it is a recreational tourism facility there, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And putting a breakwater in it, but not sufficient. It was just to temper what was happening, but far inadequate to what is needed. So that is the main cause of the problem, the investment. But I want to point out two other things. One, it's not just Elsha Beach, When you leave the roundabout, the first roundabout that takes you to Fort Clarence,
yes,
you go back to the next roundabout. The erosion is along that main road.
Yes.
So we have the risk of losing that main road.
But hold on, Fitz. Hold on, Fitz, because I know that Helsha Beach lost several, as Dr. Smith has said, lost several meters of beach over the time.
Yes.
But at the same time, Sugarman's Beach, which is down the road, has gained in area. So how is it that Helsha would have lost area, Fort Clarence would have lost area, but Sugarman down the road gained area?
Dr. Smith, as a scientist, can better explain that. I can't. I can only describe what has occurred.
But it was just before Dr. Smith answers. Just before you answer, it is necessary to point that out because Fitzjackson is saying that the story of erosion is not confined to Helsha Beach down that side alone. But at the same time, even though that is true, it's not even partly true. It is true. There is a situation where there's a beach in that same area which has relatively flourished. At the same time that Fort Clarence and Helsha, the two most heavily used and most populated, and the areas where there has been development in the environment where there should only be sand and mangrove and bush, but people have put in structures, unlike Sugarman. So that would point to a part of the reason for the advanced erosion of Helsha and Fort Clarence and the relative flourishing of Sugarman, because Sugarman's Beach is where the scale of human development is nowhere near what is happening at Helsha and nowhere near what is happening at Fort Clarence.
Well, as I said, I can't explain the science behind that. What I can do is describe what transpires. Yes, the erosion has taken a tremendous toll on sections of the Helsha Beach and along that strip, which is also my major concern too. When people used to bathe along the strip from the Helsha, from the Seafort roundabout going up to Helsha, a lot of recreation usually takes place there because that's a good beach. All of that is gone, coming nearer to the roadway now. And the long and short of it, guys, is that we just need the sincerity of the commitment of funds. I've been having recent discussions with Minister Samuda, and he has given an undertaking to come on board just within the last 3 months or so That is something that I'm going to be, I've started to actively pursue with him to see what we can do to get the funding to
Let's take the break and come back, Fitzjackson, Dr. David Smith, because this is a very, very important issue. Let's continue after this.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:32.
Tiles. It can go everywhere, from your walls to your floors, from inside to outside. Your style, your choice. At Active Home Center, we have the widest selection of tiles, from classic to unique. Shop our new arrival of tiles for your bathrooms, living rooms, kitchen, and more. Let us help you transform your space. Visit us in Kingston at 84 Constant Spring Road or our newly opened location in Freeport, Montego Bay. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Eliminate the hassle of managing multiple medications that can be confusing. Thanks to Horton's Pharmacy. Introducing RX Pack, a mobile app available in the App Store and Google Play Store. RX Pack is specially designed for you to order and manage your medications. Download today for free. That's RX Pack for better medication management. Call 876-RX-0-RX-RX or visit our website, hortonsrx.com for more details.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
I pursue opportunities.
I prepare for opportunities.
I plan for opportunities.
With Sagicor e-Invest, you can prepare, plan for, and pursue IPO opportunities. Browse IPOs, review IPO details and prospectuses. Select and apply for a featured IPO.
IPO.
With Sagicor e-Invest. Think wealth. Visit sagicor.com.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. We're having a conversation about a plan to bring back the Helsha Beach. A part of that conversation, too, is whether to rebuild those shops there or not to rebuild them. We're having the conversation with the Director of Innovation and Research at Smith Warner International, Dr. David Smith, and Member of Parliament for Southern St. Catherine, Fitzjackson. Before the break, Mr. Jackson, you were mentioning that the study was done, but there had been a difficulty getting investors, people to come on board and execute the recommendations pointed out in that study from 2012. But you're now saying that the Environment Minister Matthew Samuda has given some commitment to looking at that study again and to actioning the recommendations in the study. Will you guys need to review anything, go back to Helsha, do any additional work before you go on now to action anything?
A few years ago, Dr. Smith, I don't know if you can recall, but we had saw through NEPA and sort of updating of the work that you had done back in 2012. And my recollection is that from that review, it never revealed any significant change in the data that was. That is my off-the-cuff recollection on that interim review that was done. But I would presume, and Dr. Smith can better advise, if whether or not another comprehensive study would be necessary as a prerequisite in designing the whole reclamation approach, which is what is being contemplated.
Dr. Smith, is there a need for us to go back into the field, go back to HELSHA, do another study, or what is contained in that study from 2012? The government and whomever else may come on board can just go ahead now.
No, Tona, I think that there's a need to go back in and do at least a survey of the shoreline and the areas just offshore the shoreline. All of that has changed since 2012 in a significant way. And based on what I saw last week, there are sections of the shoreline, I would say west of Prentice, where there's been significant damage to all of those vendors' stalls. The front of them have been destroyed. The land has been eroded seriously, right? So all of that needs to be captured. And then as you go further west, the shoreline opens up into a natural beach without structures. And it's really a very beautiful area. You know, the water is lovely and the beach is very nice. So I think, honestly, that the solution for the area, well, first of all, you asked about is there a need to rebuild or not. What we know is that we're facing a hurricane season which is potentially dangerous for the whole Caribbean, right? So guys in Colorado have predicted that there will be a whole lot of storms this year and a lot of named storms. And you can see that the conditions of the ocean, Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea, are such that the water is sufficiently warm, that there's enough fuel, as it were, to start generating very extreme hurricanes. The Beryl is a great example of that. The thing intensified in, a period of, 42 hours. It went from tropical storm to Category 5. Since the start of record keeping in 1850 in the U.S. at the National Hurricane Center, only 5 other hurricanes have done that sort of thing, and none of them have done it before September. So what it tells us is that the whole oceans are warming up. So we need to be able to prepare for that.
And with that in mind, Dr. Smith, you would not suggest that the restaurants, those fish shops, are so close to the shore.
There's space. I'm not sure about moving them. I think that there could be possibilities for protecting the areas in front of them, but I honestly don't think that there should be an encouragement to extend the construction of those fish shops in a lateral sense.
Well, there's not much space for expansion there anyway.
There's not much space for expansion.
No. So the best route is reclamation.
I'm thinking so, Mr. Jackson. I'm thinking that the best route is to reclaim and hold what is in front of those places. And then where you have natural beach, you leave the natural beach. You don't allow any building along there, and let that natural beach do its erosion and accretion, right? Because to come back to a point that you were discussing earlier before the break, a lot of that sand which came off HELSHA went down to Sugarman's.
Yeah.
But Fitzjackson, here's the uncomfortable bit now, because this didn't happen by itself. The building at HELSHA, the community that has sprung up on the beach, effective, or Dr. Smith is a scientist. He wouldn't say the beach, but you know the area I'm talking about.
Beach,
yeah. The community that has developed there, and the unregulated construction of restaurants and bars and all those things. It happened under the eyes of the authorities. You've been MP down there for a long time. You're a foundation St. Catherine man. The Portmore municipality has been in the hands of the PNP for a long time. Well, only one time as a JLP have had a mayor over there since 2003. So this problem has happened under the watch of the authorities. And it is larger to blame for the problem we have now, you would accept.
Well, that is not fully so.
How so?
Not so, because there are some elements in there which I would be prepared to discuss off here, but not on here. And those have been dealt with. But the bigger problem, that you must not lose sight of, the erosion has a lot of buildings that used to be there are no longer there because of erosion. A lot of buildings. I am familiar with that area when the beach was further in the where the water is now. Right? Land used to be there. So what you have is an erosion that has constricted the areas where you have structures. It is not that more structures have gone into the beach area. The beach area has eroded. You don't have the beach space that you used to have anymore.
Yes, but without a doubt, though, Fitzjackson, I hear you. But without a doubt, the fact of the unplanned construction, unauthorized construction in an area where mangroves used to grow, where the beach had.
I don't know of that. I don't know.
Hold on.
The construction.
If you go from
mangroves were.
Hold on. If you go from 2012, at the point where the Fisherman's Cooperative, you said, partnered with Lime to do the study, and the land that some people then built, I'm not talking about the shops because the shops are closest to the water, so no, mangroves, no. But further back, are you saying that you have no information that none of the buildings that people live in, or even the tack shop that they hang the engine in or the net, that mangroves were moved to put that in?
Just picture.
Yes.
When you go into Elsha Beach.
Yes.
And you go straight in. There is no buildings in addition right now where the cooperative has a container that they use as their office.
Yeah.
Right? There's no new buildings that have been built in the areas where the mangroves were.
In the last how many years?
In the last
Hello?
year.
Go again, Fitz. I lost you there. Go again.
The problem we have, is the beach area being eroded.
Yeah, but hold on, man. We're talking. We're trying to compartmentalize so that those who don't know the area like us know exactly what you're talking about. So hold on. You said no new building has gone up in the last how many years?
There has been a couple new ones. More to the when you enter
and go left.
And more to the left.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm saying, even if no new buildings have gone up in let's say the last 3 to 5 years, we're talking about an erosion problem at Helsha that you can document and see the alarming erosion from about 2002.
But where did the erosion take place, George?
The erosion, remember, the erosion does not have to take place only at the point where the sea meets the foreshore, It's not just there, because activities beyond that point can precipitate the erosion at the point where the sea meets the foreshore. Am I wrong, Dr. Smith?
Yes, but George, I just want to say that when I look at satellite imagery of the area, you can see that after Hurricane Ivan in particular, there was a whole lot of erosion.
Yeah,
Hurricane
man.
Ivan
Dean and Ivan really did a number on Helsha. That's a fact.
Ivan in particular did a really bad number on them. And so what it did was it brought the water close to the buildings that were previous at the back of the shore.
Yes.
So that after that, whenever you had any high seas and waves coming up on the shoreline, those waves would hit against the walls of the restaurants and scour the sand down in front of them.
Yes.
Right? So what Mr. Jackson is saying, there's merit, some merit to what he's saying.
Yes.
Right? And that what he's saying is that the sea has come in to actually affect the structure.
Those are facts. I didn't deny those facts from Fitz. So here's the thing.
So it became a synergistic thing in a bad way.
So here's the thing, Fitz Jackson. Remember, you have no control over Dean or Ivan or Beryl. I was just zeroing in on the things that you have control of, and just for you to give some ground or give some credence to their argument that the unplanned and unregulated construction in that area has also contributed to the problem. It may not be the main reason for the problem because the erosion from the weather events is significant and is real, but just that the authorities have had trouble over time preventing people from building in the area. And I know you're not denying that.
No, not at all. As I mentioned to you, there have been some unapproved buildings that have taken place. When the erosion started, the first thing after discussion with the NEPA, what we wanted to do was to restrict the amount of activities on the beach, commercial activities, that is.
Right.
Right? And yes, there have been a few that have been constructed, but the truth of the matter is not an enormous amount.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. That is not the bulk of the problem. The root of our problems, Dr. Smith has pointed to, is a massive erosion. Hurricane Ivan, yes, was a big hit.
But
when I looked at it after,
bad
Ivan, I couldn't believe the place that I knew all these years.
Yes.
It changed it altogether. So we have that big hit, and the truth is, nothing was done to reverse or contain that erosion from the beach.
Yes.
And it has gradually carried on to the point where we are.
So, gentlemen,
what we need is a program of reclamation, right? With all mention was made a while ago, reclaim, but not to put structure.
Yes.
But to create a larger beach area there. That is what we need, and that's what we'll be pursuing.
Yes. So
nature have done us, put it this way.
Yes.
Nature have done us a bad deal
down
there. And because we have a bad deal, I don't want to put it on somebody's shoulder.
Yes, but I'm also it helps when an area regulated for one activity, that activity is the only activity that is there, and there's nothing else that can hasten the occurrence of any destructive effect from nature's wrath. That's all I'm saying as well. That's all I'm saying as well.
The Half-Moon Fisherman Cooperative have played a very vigilant role on the beach, right? In so far as ensuring that people don't cut down the mangroves that are existing there. They have played that role.
Yes.
Unilaterally.
So the long and short, Fitzjackson, Dr. David Smith, is that we're going to have to study again, and let's hope that this time the big money that comes at the end of the study doesn't frighten us off from doing anything.
Right. Because, and against that background, George, I made the case to Minister Bartlett that El Shabit is not a South St. Catherine facility. It's a facility for the Kingston metropolitan area.
Correct.
Yes, it's a major beach recreation facility.
For us in Kingston, yes.
For Kingston and Bath of St. Catherine.
Yes.
And the problem, quite frankly, that I have had, I can't get that appreciation to treat it with the level of capital investment and the value that it provides to that broader population. It's often seen as my problem.
Yes. And it is not. You're very correct in how you framed it. All right. Well, gentlemen, we hope that Smith Warner or whichever set of coastal engineers gets the call to do that updated study to see what the problem is now, and then when the dollar figure is attached, we can find a way to raise the capital to fix a problem that affects people in St. Catherine, in St. Andrew, and in Kingston.
You're on that, George.
Go again?
I say I'm going to invite your voice also in lobbying for the funding once those numbers come in.
Yeah, and just to tell you that I know the area very well. It's something I studied when I was at NEPA. So yeah, I know the layout.
That's one of the reasons why I'm enlisting you.
I hear you, sir. All right, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Thank you this morning.
Thank you very much, George. I appreciate it. Thank you for bringing me on.
Okay,
all right,
Dr.
sir.
Smith.
Bye, Mr. Jackson. Take care.
So you see the thing now, Tana. The problem. So the hurricanes, Dean and Ivan especially, mash up Helcha, to be fair, but a lot of unplanned building in there. When I go into the place, I frightened with how many houses and this and it's a whole community, as I told you in the production meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
And the study said, okay, we need to do XYZ. Not a thing do because of the money. And now, 12 years ago,
we need to do the study again.
We're going to do the study again. And then the money come, and the money go say,
and it's going to be more.
The money going to be more, and the money go too big.
Yeah.
And we now can't do nothing. And then, your children and our children will say, oh, you remember the place called Helcha? Find it, Google it.
Yeah.
They can't go there physically because Helcha got gone. All of it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Listen up, motorists. Speeding burns more gas. So slow down. The life you save may be your own and also that of your loved ones. Slow down. Save lives and money. The time by the Insurance Association of Jamaica is
7:51.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Router plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to SportsMax on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
I stay locked into Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican.
I tune into the Olympics, but I'm always busy. What have to know when Sharika Jackson beat Shakari?
She's storming to victory here. Watch the clock. This is so fast.
Brother, I have to see every notification for the Olympics. Me, who want to hear every run.
The Jamaican's coming. He's closing. What a performance.
Every jump and every fling.
Oh, wow. So that is
live. Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while I'm driving,
Thompson Hera from 60 yards, moving away, and she gets the victory.
she's jogging. Or at work,
Hurry, the race is about to start.
we can't miss a beat.
Oh, me?
Because we keep it locked.
To the only station for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide.
90 FM.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school? And now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less,
or 2 or 3,
at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease and high blood pressure. The solution is simple, right? Act now. Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Getting some happiness from abroad? JMMB Money Transfer makes it easy. Receive your money transfer in minutes directly to your JMMB Money Transfer Visa prepaid card, or pick up cash at over 100 locations island-wide or in any local bank account. Just ask your family and friends to send money through any of our international partners like MoneyGram, Ria, Remitly, or Zoom. It's safe, fast, and simple. Day or night, happiness is just a transfer away. It's as easy as JMMB Money Transfer. Call 876-998-JMMB or visit jm.jmmb.com/moneytransfer for more information.
We're just having an off-air conversation. I haven't been to Helsha in years, but Jermaine, you go to Helsha often. Good morning, Keisha and Helsha.
Very regular.
And Miss Blanks. They have restaurants. Okay.
When I was in another place, I haven't seen him for a long time. I go book him up. So I'm big head man now freeze up. I said, what a big head man, I'm look a king.
Are really your place?
I lift up about 3 shark. I put it on the scale. I say, yes, my boss.
Yeah, it's really your place.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But I think, when after the study, George, and they're doing reclamation and revitalization of the area too, because the shops and just the area needs, beautification. Because even the gate?
Mm-hmm.
The gate collapsed during burial as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I saw some complaints in the YouTube chat earlier, and that's one of them. People people think the scenery over there
it don't look good.
don't look good.
But perhaps that's what Fitzjackson is saying, that look, because them say on my beach, they're not putting the level of investment needed to beautify the place and to make the place make you feel comfortable when you go there, comfortable to be in the don't want to say space, but be in the area, yeah. So he say that if it was treated as a recreation fishing beach for the entire corporate area and St. Catherine, then the requisite funds would be put into making it homely. But because them say, well, yeah, it's a little beach in your constituency, so whatever. He says that he's suggesting that that's the reason, that's a part of the reason for the inattention and the lack of funding to get what is necessary to be done. It would be a good question to ask Minister Bartlett if it forms part of the whole tourism. You know, he loves to talk about linkages, and so you Kingston, you come to Kingston for business meetings, and a lot of visitors do that. Come here, it should be a part of the thing where you drive, go across, you go Hillshire, because the road good to go across there.
Right.
Yeah. And you want visitors to have a good experience and want it to look good. And even better than the visitors, for me and you, Jamaicans first, it must look good for us first before it look good for anybody else. So I'd be keen to understand why Minister Bartlett has resisted the overtures by the South St. Catherine MP to think of Hillshire more broadly and to marshal and to channel the requisite funds into the area to lift up the place.
Yeah, because I don't know how many shops are over there, but they're enough
shop, yeah.
Okay, and they're all board structures.
They have to because of where they are.
Yeah. So you
with
keep
a concrete base.
Yeah, you fix up those ones that are over there as best as possible. No more people come build any more shops over there, and you beautify the space.
Yeah, the shops nearest to the water, they are concrete. The frames are concrete, and you have some wood. But so because they're in the front line of the wave action, so that's why they say, all right, then let's build it out of concrete to make it more resilient. So if the rough sea or in the hurricane or heavy rain and woolly breeze and so forth, they can withstand. The shop's a little bit behind in the second line, if you can picture it like that. You have first line, a second line, a third line, and back. So the further you go from the water, the more chances people take with making it making the structures out of board. But you have a lot of concrete structures in the facility, which shouldn't be because in that area you have concrete structure on the beach.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be. So the problem of unregulated planning at Hillshire is a real thing, and people just turning up and setting up shop in areas that they really ought not to. That has also contributed to the problem in terms of how the place looks and the effect of severe weather on the area broadly.
Yeah, I see Kevin Lawrence here is saying, Managa Hillshire for relaxation, prefer drive go Alligator Pond.
How far that do we know?
With the highway, not...
Tana, listen.
Manchester.
King.
Alligator Pond is in Manchester.
King.
Kevin. Jermaine is asking you why you want to go to Alligator Pond.
Tana, even with the highway.
Yes.
Alligator Pond, I used to drive there very often, and it was, boy, you have to gird your loins to make the drive from Kingston to go Alligator Pond. A far, man. Yeah, and Sugarman's Beach down the road, which is what I'm saying.
Fort Clarence.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever been to Fort Clarence. And I've been to Hillshire twice.
I was pleasantly surprised, but by the size of Sugarman's when I went down there. Yeah, because I said, wait, so this a big old beach down there, so and Hillshire doesn't exist as a beach.
And Nads J says, if our money goes into it, then there must be rules and structure. Yep. Yeah, whatever project is going to take place in relation to Hillshire now, has to be very structured, very regulated.
I'm going to fix Hillshire for the tourists, Fix it for me. Fix it for me and you.
Yeah.
And people like us. Yeah. If you say shop Hillshire, you can't tell me say no shop Hillshire. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM, The time is
8:01.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, I'm Tona Thomas. The National Irrigation Commission, NIC, says it has restored water to 70% of its farming customers following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. CEO Joseph Giles says the NIC's irrigation stations were impacted by the lack of electricity across much of the island.
We get a lot of water now from underground wells, where we have to rely on JPS to provide us with the energy source to provide water to the farmers. In other words, we'll have to pump the water to the farmers. You can appreciate that we get all our energy from the power company, JPS.
The NIC says the remaining 30% of customers who are without irrigation service are primarily from St. Elizabeth, where power has so far only been restored in small pockets. Mr. Giles says that the Commission is moving to get water to affected farmers.
As we speak, we are in the process of trying to get generators to pump water, to start the pump. Once that is done, we'll use our truck and try as much as possible to see how we can truck water to.
Joseph Giles, CEO of the National Irrigation Commission. The Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA, says it does not anticipate shortages of coffee or spice crops as a result of Hurricane Beryl. Acting Director General at JACRA, Wayne Hunter, says harvesting was already advanced when the storm passed.
We would have already been actively reaping before. So you have some of those that we have reaped before. They're still out there in the processes, plant processing, etc. So you won't see there will be no loss or shortage of the commodities at this time. You won't see it.
According to JACRA, Beryl caused damage to coffee, pimento, cocoa, nutmeg, turmeric, and ginger crops across several parishes. That damage is estimated to cost in the region of $266 million. Hunter says affected farmers have already begun work to get back into production.
They assist the farmers to clean up their farms, etc. That's coming from our field advisory offices. So they have already started. What we need to do now is to provide some nutrients to assist, for example, that of our turmeric and ginger farmers. Turmeric and ginger, those are planted primarily in the agri-parks. So based on the flood, agri-park, the soil type there is a little different because it's clay, which, the water doesn't run off so easily. So what we need to do now is to ensure that we have some chemicals to ensure, that the nutrients go back into the ground, that by the time comes around to reap turmeric and ginger, which is about November, December.
Wayne Hunter, Acting Director General of the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority. He was speaking on Nationwide this morning on Tuesday. The St. Elizabeth Health Department says it has begun identifying alternative locations for health services following the significant damage to several health facilities across the parish by Hurricane Beryl. 3 major health centres in the southern part of the parish, Southfield Health Centre, Newell Health Centre and Bellevue Health Centre, suffered extensive roof damage. This led to severe flooding and the destruction of several pieces of equipment and medical supplies. Acting Medical Officer of Health for the parish, Dr. Carol Hamilton, says the department is seeking to retrofit the Barbary Hall Community Centre and a location at Kincaid Plaza. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning. I'm Tona Thomas.
Drive Drive Hyundai. Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 4.99% interest rate. Yes! Shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 4.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest, 4.99%. Conditions apply.
Success, powered by learning. The Temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is...
Your food tastes the best, it's true. And your food brings the best out of you. Tasty meals packed with style, satisfying, makes you smile. Cream rises to the top, it's true.
Your Foods, sour cream and cream cheese spreads in supermarkets island-wide. Make your best even better.
Outperform, outlast, with top performance, Jackama, reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fancy select tools, free parts and free repairs. Free parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61124. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Router plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to SportsMax on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Opening the lines to take your calls. The numbers 630-937-124, 630-937-124, and 618-8255, 618-8255. Those are the numbers. Do give us a call. In the meantime, I did see JPS post a 3-day forecast of where their team members would be working between July 16 and 18, so from yesterday to tomorrow. And in Hanover, JPS said their team members would be in sections of Santoy, Esher, Rhodes Hall, Hopeful, Prospect, Horton Court, Old Green Island, Orange, Pell River, Cosnock, Glasgow, Kingsvale, Flamstead, Middlesex, Old Road, Ratbat Cove.
Aye.
Yeah. Lenses Bay, Camel, Russell Road, Malcolm Heights, Horton Gardens, Prosper, Bristol, Barbary Hill, Kew, Mount Peace, Jericho, Cascade, Birch Hill, Patty Hill, I'm hearing about these places for the first time, Maryland, Chigwell, Great Valley, Forest, Axe, and Porter's Mountain, Beswick, Baker, and Newtown. Going to pass on these to Nora for the consumer hour because it does give a breakdown for each parish to let you guys know.
You just read Hanover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where JPS will be today and tomorrow.
Let me tell you something. I went to Chigwell once.
Chigwell, yeah.
Jeez and peace, Donna.
It's deep rural Hanover.
No, it's high rural Hanover.
Oh, mountainous area.
I wouldn't say mountain, but I remember, did I go to John's Hall and make a right from I don't know what it far. I went to do a presentation at a school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember the name of the school. But the students there weren't many of them in the school, but they were nice people. You know, country people are always nice.
Of
course. It was a very nice experience, but boy, it did far. Far. Yeah, man, far. Anyway, we have Elaine online. Good morning, Elaine.
Hello, George and TT.
Hello to you, Elaine.
Oh, my. George, before I talk anything, that mountain in front of Rockford there, what it called?
Mountain in front of Rockfort?
That big mountain up by looking at Harborview there.
You mean Warwicker Hills, Shooters Hill, Dallas? Hold on there, Rockfort. Somebody will tell me soon. I don't remember the name.
Because somebody running me down. I don't. I said it's Blue Mountain, but
No, man.
it's not Blue.
No,
Mountain.
it's not blue. It's not blue.
So what they call it?
Oh, you're saying when you're at Rockfort, you're looking east.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. In the Blue Mountain, yeah, man.
Oh. My granddaughter run me down to the teacher says it's not it.
No, man. If you're at Rockfort, you're looking east, and the big mountain, the high mountain, the Blue Mountain.
course.
Yeah, man.
Blue Mountain.
A Blue Mountain, man.
No, next thing. George, you can't laugh. Some who know why you laugh after me, you know.
You're right.
Why you can't laugh? Next thing, George. You know, from the hurricane. I want to call Mr. Hughes, but I want to put in it for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's when they do they give out in October. They give out the medal.
You mean Heroes Day? Heroes Day.
It's Heroes Day. And
Yes.
October.
Yeah, man. October. Heroes Day.
Please write it down for me, George. I make Mr. Hughes read for me.
Yes.
Ricardo supposed to get a medal.
Ricardo Brooks?
Of course.
Where you give medal
Take
for?
out those poor children out by Caravan Cement.
Oh, yes,
Because
yes.
I heard one next station saying that is a CPSA, something like that, go for them and take them out.
Yes.
I want him to get a medal. Please write it down for me, George.
Brooks must get a medal on Heroes Day. All right, no problem. No problem. We're not going to forget.
You know, long I want to call and talk about it. Try do.
We're not going to
Ricardo
forget.
Brooks must get a medal for that.
Yes, Mom.
And the other station saying is the CPSA went and take them out.
Yes.
Which is not true.
We're going to ensure that Brooks get his due.
All right.
All right, Elaine. Thank you. Linda Ming in the chat says, everywhere far for George.
You see, because earlier you had people shading you about saying that driving to Alligator Pond is too far.
Who are these people?
Everybody run out. I said, listen, they will drive to Alligator
Tana,
Pond.
you are driving from Barbican
Go
or
tell the shop.
from Smokyville or from Ligani in St. Andrew to go to Alligator Pond in the far? No human being said, what wrong with the people are alien, you know? They eat fish. Eh? No, sir. Listen, I drive to Alligator Pond, eat, and when I come back, I drop asleep. Because it's far. No, it's far, man. Whoever line? It's far. It's far, man. Whoever line, King? Who have there? Donovan, morning.
We just lost Donovan.
Tam says, George, no medal for you until you apologize to the YouTubers. So, you know, Roxy was right, you know. Because there are certain things we say that certain people don't hear, so I will say it again. Tam. No, man, I fixed it up yesterday, man. I did apologize yesterday to my YouTube friends who thought they were the ones I'm talking, even though I'm vexed with them for thinking that they were the ones I'm talking about. I said the dunce YouTubers. Couldn't be none of you. Couldn't be Tam. Couldn't be SH. Couldn't be the overwhelming majority of you in here. But you know you have some people in here where, you know you have a fool one them. You understand? And them may attack. Not you and the rest of them, Tam. Oh, God. Sure. Donovan, morning. Mr. Harris. Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Hi, morning, George and Tana.
Morning to you.
All right, calling from Frankfield. We need some assistance from JPS there.
Mm-hmm.
Edwin Allen High School is out of power from Beryl.
It now on the generator over there, Mr. Harris?
Well, we have generator. We have tried 3, and they have got damage. We are now seeking to repair them.
Yeah.
So, you know, we are not able to do anything as it relates to the returning students and new students.
Yes.
And what I understand is just that little equipment that you should push up to connect the power.
Yes.
That is all it needs. And we have been calling, and, we have been told that they are coming each day.
Yes. Who you call, Mr. Harris?
We call JPS, and we are told that they will be coming today, tomorrow, and it just continues. And then we are not able to operate as a school.
Yes.
And then we are just a few weeks away from the beginning of the new school year.
Yes.
And we are not able to do much as it relates to new students and returning students.
Question for you, Mr. Harris. Did you have plans to have summer school at Edwin this year?
We do have summer school going on.
Oh, yeah, have you got going on? Oh, I thought that was affected.
Yeah.
I thought.
No, it's not affected. It's just we are not able to get any power or internet.
Mm-hmm.
So the offices are open.
Yes.
But we are not able to do anything.
Yes, understood.
As it relates to computer printing, etc.
So JPS, we're making the appeal to you this morning.
Asking for assistance for
Yeah, man. JPS making the appeal this morning. Edwin Allen High School in Frankfield in Clarendon. They need the power. They say the generators they had got hit, so not working, and they need the power. And you would understand that no, the schools are gearing up for back to school, so we can't have the situation persisting for much longer. So JPS appealing to you on behalf of the good folks at Edwin Allen High School this morning.
All right, thank you.
All right, Sir Harris. All the best.
Well, so you have it here, George. Paul Edwards saying, George, it's the experience. That's why you drive from the city.
It's true.
And OMS says, everywhere is far for told people.
OMS, you know it's true, me attack. You understand? Let me tell you, Chigwell, Tana, if Alligator Pond, all right, compared to Alligator Pond, compared to Chigwell, Alligator Pond near. Nah, man, Chigwell, nah, man. But Tana live far too, see it there. Yeah.
Because you're a town person.
But you know, as we go to the phones again, Tana, let me tell you this. I've said it already. I'll say it again. I've had the good fortune of driving out Jamaica for where I used to work. It was a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been to everywhere at least 3 times. Yeah. After having never gone anywhere. You know, I went to South Africa before I went to Mobay. I went to London before I went to Mobay. I went to Japan before I went to Montego Bay. Yeah, man. So, but in the last, so before 2008, we never knew beyond Kingston and St. Catherine, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But since 2008, I had the good fortune of driving out the whole country. And let me tell you this. I've never seen a place more beautiful to the eyes than Southfield in St. Elizabeth when rain. You see, after the rain and the place green up, I drive there, look, I say, blur, neat.
Yeah.
You know, Portland have its claims.
Yes.
But you see, Southfield, St. Elizabeth, boy, I tell them I need piece of land, but I throw it on the water down there. We can't be out a pan again, Jeremy.
You know, build tank, man, George.
We can't be out a pan, Tana. I'm sorry.
George, you build tank.
King, what do you think the name Pumper Spray? We can't do the Pumper.
George, you build tank.
We can't do the Pumper Spray, so, but don't wait.
You build tanks, George, and you'll be fine. You build tanks and you'll be fine.
We live in a paradise. Well, that was true on the water, but there you go.
We have water. Fix up the argument.
But we don't have water consistently. No. Who we have?
We do have water consistently.
Oh, take a break. Let's take a break.
That's why we have tanks.
We don't have water consistently, Tana.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled. A pure water we drink. The time by Pure Water is
8:20.
JANAC Global Accreditation, promoting consumer confidence, facilitating market access through internationally accepted accreditation and trading services. Accreditation, your visa for global access. Accredited once, accepted everywhere. Call JANAC Global Accreditation at 876-968-7790 or visit our website at www.janaac.gov.jm.
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Router plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to Sportsmax on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Drive Hyundai. Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 4.99% interest rate. Yes! Shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 4.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest, 4.99%. Conditions apply.
I stay locked into Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican.
I tune into the Olympics, but I'm always busy. What have you know when Sharika Jackson beat Shakari?
She's storming to victory here. Watch the clock. This is so fast.
Brother, I have to see every notification for the Olympics. Me, we want to hear every run.
The Jamaican's coming. He's closing. What a performance.
Every jump and every fling.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is
live. Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while I'm driving,
Thompson Hera from 60 yards, moving away, and she gets the victory.
she's jogging. Or at work,
Hurry, the race is about to start.
we can't miss a beat.
Oh, me?
Because we keep it locked.
To the only station for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide.
90 FM.
Fun and joke aside, I don't want the St. Elizabeth people in the south to think me I style them thing, or me I take liberties,
Oh.
Because at the end of the day, they will look to me and say, well, George, guess what? We now pay $3,000 for 616.
That is right. That is right. You just go to your neighbors, or your neighbor comes to you and offers you something. Okay.
Yes. I would go to supermarket go buy 3 peeled green banana.
No.
For $1,500.
We just go in our backyard.
Yeah.
Okay. Just go in our
cut a
backyard.
bunch of banana.
Yeah. You go outside and all you see is lush vegetation. Fruits in abundance. Okay? Pineapple, mangoes.
Time as lawn grass, eh?
Yes.
Anyway, let's get to this though.
Cho.
Let's get to this.
No,
I know me starting up fast. This summer, Jermaine, I know not what you talk about it, but it's alright. Jermaine is a town man. Anyway, this summer, Digicel is uniting Jamaicans more than ever before under the theme One Jamaica. Digicel will be pulling together the best of Jamaican culture, communities, and country as they celebrate the shared heritage and passion for excellence. For more on the Digicel's One Jamaica campaign, we're being joined by Head of Business Marketing at Digicel Jamaica, Kimberly Campbell. Good morning, Kimberly.
How are you?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Nice. Were you born in the city or in rural Jamaica?
Rural Jamaica. Sorry, I was grown in rural Jamaica, but I was born in Kingston.
Oh, where did you grow up?
I grew up in St. Mary, went to school in St. Anne, then transferred to Kingston for additional schooling and for work.
Yeah, and you prefer Kingston over St. Mary and St. Anne?
So when I say prefer, for work purposes, yes. For peace of mind and relaxation, we would go back to country for that.
Yeah, you have to leave the city. True.
For sure.
So, Kimberly, talk to us now about the One Jamaica summer campaign. Tell us what it entails.
All right. So this One Jamaica summer campaign is all about putting our best foot forward, putting our culture forward, uniting communities, coming together and celebrating our heritage and just the passion of excellence that we exhibit as a nation. And then we looked at our circumstances recently coming out of a hurricane, and it is just a perfect opportunity for us to look at how, that spirit of resilience as a nation, as we come together and rise together as, one people. And everybody knows as a brand that's authentically Jamaica on digital, we always look at opportunities dedicated at supporting our people, supporting our community, and this is whether through good times and bad times. So we decided to look at it as a form of unity, just continuing that journey of, rising against every odds with our people and sharing the love right across as well. So we wanted to look at an opportunity to see, whether we are triumphing in good and great times. We would have just come out of a hurricane, and we want to look at ways at which we can thank our customers, thank the public at large, for their patience with us as a team while we continue to work to connect our mobile network or digital home services. And we want to encourage Jamaica to continue to stay connected, that we know are maximizing our efforts as one Jamaica in itself and as a people and as a one digital together at large.
Mm-hmm. So for the campaign now, what can digital customers and the wider public expect?
So for this summer, we would have started our One Jamaica campaign today. And what we're looking to expect is just fun and games right across the summer. And for us as a company, we know that we look at engaging not just persons online, but engaging in the communities. And we're making sure that our customer gets to enjoy the Olympic Games coming up, as we are one of the sponsors for the TVJ coverage happening this summer. And we're going to be on the road as well. And we want to encourage our customers with looking at what's happening for the Olympics. You can get all the action on SportsMax app and with their data. So if you have a Prime plan or higher for our prepaid customers, you can catch all the action there. And we want to ensure that, you have all that it takes to enjoy the moments in the Olympics that's coming up, every moment, every feature, every content being displayed. And we want to ensure that we are also supporting and continue supporting our brand ambassador, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, who we have been a proud sponsor for.
Right. I was going to ask you about Shelley, because Shelley bids farewell to the Olympics this year, and from all accounts, she is poised to go out with a bang. So, sure. A big year for Shelley. Digicel does things big all the time and has always done so. What can we expect where the Shelley farewell is concerned, and Digicel making its fans feel connected to that whole experience?
So, since morning, we would have launched our brand campaign ad. So if everyone is listening or following us on social media, you can take a look at our Facebook, Instagram page, and take a look at that tribute that we have placed to all our Olympians, actually, and to Shelley at large. And we're looking at our support from grassroots to greatness. She has been an outstanding athlete who has inspired generations of athletes and our nation, and we want to continue to support her on her journey. And we know that Shelley, she places a very high premium on giving back to our community and the wider Jamaica, and it's the same way our Digital Foundation does as we continue to collaborate with her and just to power her passion when it comes on to youth mentorship and community engagement. So for us as a company, it's an honor to have Shelley as our ambassador for over almost a decade, and we continue to show and intend to show that appreciation continually for her in very creative and unique ways. And as I mentioned before, everything that around what we're doing to support her and her journey is definitely going to be on social media. So we want everybody to follow us at Digicel Jamaica on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also Twitter, just to see what unfolds right across the summer.
And lastly, Kimberly, time is almost up on us. For those of us who have the Digicel triple play, so we have the phone and we have the internet and we have the cable, like yours truly, or even those who don't have the whole triple package, but they have some aspect of it. What can they expect from Digicel this summer? Because you're always doing something for customers, eh?
We're always doing something, and we'll be across different communities this summer. So we just want to remind our customers, mobile and home customers, look out for us in Mandeville on the 24th of July. We're looking at St. Elizabeth on the 25th and Westmoreland on the 26th, and that's a part of our One Jamaica Road Tour, where you get to meet us in the streets to have different activities, have fun, win prizes, and we have something big coming on August 2nd to the 10th with our partners, Red Stripe and Grace Kennedy, and that's where we're painting the town red. We'll have an Olympic Village experience in Halfway Tree. We want everybody to come out and just have fun with us right across the period, enjoy the excitement around the Olympics, and support our brand ambassadors as they continue their journey to shine on the world stage in the Paris Olympics.
Kimberly Campbell, Head of Business Marketing at Digicel Jamaica. Thank you this morning for your time. All the best to you and to Digicel.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right.
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Router plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to Sportsmax on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Is there a small business person in your community making a big difference? Do they inspire you and others? How are they helping? Let the Supreme Ventures Foundation know who is your Supreme Community Hero. Nominate yours and we will select 5 community-based businesses to receive a grant to invest in their business and in the community, plus entrepreneurial training. So, who is your Supreme Community Hero? Visit sv-foundation.com to nominate your Supreme Community Hero now. Nominations close July 26.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, turning our attention now to the Treasure Beach Rehabilitation Project. Hurricane Beryl severely impacted the parish of St. Elizabeth, destroying numerous homes and crops and crippling the infrastructure there. Head of the Breads Foundation and lead principal of Jake's Hotel in Treasure Beach, Jason Hensel, is appealing to both private and public sectors for assistance in rehabilitating the parish and ensuring its residents have access to electricity and water. On July 9, he attended the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU among Food for the Poor, that's Food for the Poor Jamaica, Food for the Poor Canada, American Friends of Jamaica, United Way of Jamaica, and the NCB Foundation. The MOU outlines the administration of funds to support post-Hurricane Beryl relief efforts across Jamaica. For more on this initiative, we're being joined by social entrepreneur, head of the Breads Foundation, and chairman of Jake's Hotel, Jason Hensel, and we're due to be joined as well by the director at the Breads Foundation, Dennis Abrams. Good morning to you, Jason.
Good morning, and thank you for having us on your program.
And thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. Jason, just before going into the initiative, if you could give us an update on how your property is faring. Are you salvaging what you can? We'll be back in operation soon.
Okay, so we're going to open in 3 phases. We've already opened Jack Sprat, thank goodness, as a quite very popular kind of hotspot in Treasure Beach. We did not get a lot of damage at Jack Sprat apart from quite a lot of fallen trees. But thank goodness our roofs there were spared. So we opened Jack Sprat last Friday, and I can tell you the amount of people who are down there, using the generator, using the Wi-Fi. As a matter of fact, my security guards telling me that there are teenagers down there until 3 o'clock in the morning, watching movies and staying in touch with friends. Mm-hmm. So, people are dealing with it in different ways, right? And reopening Jack Sprat was very, very important to us as a company and the community. Phase 2 is we're going to be opening up our villas as they become available. Some sustained different levels of damage. So we have 2 villas that are going to get going next week. Mm-hmm. And then we have 6 other villas that we're going to be bringing on in the next, say, 6 weeks to 2 months.
Yeah.
And then Jake's got battered pretty badly to be fair. So we're looking at opening on the 25th of September. As of right now, that's what we're looking at. We're working with our insurance brokers, getting assessments. And we want to we want to do it properly. We don't want to do a patch job. We want to really do it properly.
Yeah. And you're situated in an area that was badly damaged by Hurricane Beryl. And here we're talking about this initiative now, this rehabilitation initiative. Talk to us about the project.
Okay, so we are extremely, we're in a very good position in that BREDS, the Treasure Beach Foundation, was formed in 1998. And we have a very good reputation for delivering on projects, for identifying needs, for getting the right partners on board. And in 2004, we saw us forming a community with trusted people in the area and getting support from visitors who had been to Treasure Beach over the years. And back then, I remember Thalia Lynn was one of my first calls from NCB Foundation to say that she would match up to $50,000. And back then, in 2004, that was like massive for us, you know. And then we reached out to Food for the Poor, and Joma Food came down and built 30 homes for the most needy in the area. And we were able to do that because we had a committee that knew the community inside out. So we did that again to a lesser extent in 2006 with Dean. 2007 with Dean. And now, of course, we're faced with Beryl, which has much more far-reaching effects because we're now talking about wind damage that did not come from the ocean. It came from the back. It came back up along the Lover's Leap, Monroe College, Santa Cruz Mountains, and came back and whipped back around. So there is extensive damage in the community. And here again, Thalia Lynn was the first call that I got. This time she said that NCB were considering $1 million, 150 million Jamaican, and that they wanted us to be one of their partners. So they would not have reached out to us like that if they hadn't trusted us and didn't think that we did a great job in 2004 and 7. And then the other early believer was an organization called GEM, the Global Empowerment Mission. And the founder of that, Michael Capone, he has worked across 60 different countries and raised quite a lot of money for areas that he has operated in. A friend of Michael Capone's had stayed at the Upfull Villa owned by Diaka Morrison in Old War for about 2 years prior.
Yes.
His name is Marlon Hill. And the second that he saw the hurricane was going to hit Treasure Beach, he reached out to this Michael and had a meeting with Oliver Mayer in Florida. It was a Florida-based entity. And they hatched a plan to say they were going to respond to us immediately. And on the Saturday, a plane landed in Montego Bay, with 1,700 boxes of food, 20-pound boxes of food each, 15 generators, and 150 tarpaulins. So we were able to literally start distribution of food on the Sunday, literally 4 days after the hurricane hit. And I know we have Dennis Abrams online. He is been incredibly pivotal in knowing the community inside out and making sure that stuff is done. All of these items and benefits are being done in an equitable and fair manner.
So at this point, Jason, and I'm going to check just in short order if Dennis is on now. I knew we were having some difficulty trying to get him. You're in the process now of raising the funds, and people like NCB Foundation have already come on board in the fundraising activity.
So what it really is like a challenge. It's like a match funding challenge. So they selected 4 entities, you named them earlier, and they said, we are making $1 million US available to be split up among the 4 of you. So you go out, each of the 4 are challenged to go and raise money, and then you put that amount that you've raised into the NCB account, and then they match it.
Gotcha.
So let us say you raise 50 million Jamaican, you lodge it to a specific account in NCB, and then, 2-3 days later, they send you back 100 million. And then what we're able to do with that now is secure discounts from building material suppliers. And, Bruce Bicknell from Tanquil have been has been unbelievable in providing discounts. Joe Bogdanovich and Marcus Richards from H&L, they donated a $1.9 million worth of plywood, 600 sheets of plywood, completely free. And then yesterday, Norman Horn came down and met with us and said that he is also willing to but to not take any profit. He's willing to sell us material at cost because he's from the parish. He sees the disaster and he wants to help. He said this is not a time for him to be profiting, but to help and come in with credible NGOs to assist in the rebuild.
Yeah.
So, it's about having credibility. It's about having right partners. It's about having the right approach. And I want to say on this program very, very clearly that the boundaries of Treasure Beach we have gone way past the boundaries of Treasure Beach, right? We have gone into communities on the surrounding communities, and the more support we get, of course, is the further out that we can go. So there's a lot of need.
Right. Dennis, are you on the line? We still don't. Yeah, we weren't able to make connection, Jason, with Dennis.
Okay.
But for persons listening now, Jason, how can they support this initiative?
Okay, so persons can support this initiative by going to breadsfoundation.org, or if persons are abroad and listening, they can go to AFJ, the American Friends of Jamaica. Now, when you go to the AFJ website, you're given two options. You want to give to the Hurricane Relief Fund generally, or do you want to give specifically to Treasure Beach? Now, the reason that the Treasure Beach part of the site is generating a lot of interest is because we at Jake's have a huge database of guests who have stayed over the years. And it's not just us, it's other people who have stayed in other hotels, guest houses. And we've sent it out to our partner, to our guests, to say, we're having some challenges here. We would appreciate you playing a part in our rebuild. And last night I looked at the list, and the amount of people who have donated even $100 US. I mean, it's unbelievable how many people have donated in small, medium, and large ways. And what we're doing is we're making sure that those funds are being used in a very transparent way so that, God forbid there's a hurricane in the future, that we can look anyone in the eye and say we know that this was distributed fairly.
Right. And speaking to that, Jason, a final question to you before we let you go. The funds that are being raised for this initiative, is it to help residents, to help businesses, or a combination of the two?
Okay. It's mainly to help residents, but we also see the importance of helping small business. And when I say that, I'm talking about literally like a cook shop.
Right.
In Jamaica, what we would call a cook shop. So, for instance, the distribution of the 15 generators, we place those, most of those, in cook shops strategically across the community. Why did we do that? Because a cook shop would have stock that they need to keep cold, else it will go bad. Frozen chicken and meat kind and fish and so, right? And then also they will provide, goods and food for the area, but also they will allow persons to charge their phones, which is very, very important for persons to keep in touch. Another initiative I wanted to mention was that we were able to purchase a generator for the sum of $13 million, a 500 kVA generator that was placed at the Newell pumping part to bring water back into Treasure Beach, because Matthew Samuda made it very clear to me that, Treasure Beach could not be a priority at this time and that he was short of generators. So the same way NCB challenged us is the same way Minister Samuda kind of challenged me and said, Jason, you need to go and raise that money for Treasure Beach. So we got 50% of the money from the same GEM, Global Empowerment Mission, and we had the money matched by NCB. And that has been made a significant difference to this community to get water back in.
Wonderful.
The last thing I want to say is that Ward Power Tools from Montego Bay, They're making a donation today of $3 million worth of material, completely free. It's a donation. And they're going to be building back a home for a family in Short Hill, which is outside of Treasure Beach, because of a picture that I sent to Mr. Ward of this family. Their house was totally gone, and they went and gathered back the zinc, and they kind of patched up a little tent-looking thing. I mean, it is, when I tell you, some people are living in squalor, and it's heartbreaking to see some of these conditions. And I want to really big shout out to Mr. Howard Ward and Ward Power Tools from Antigua Bay today.
Yeah. And the spirits, it is really bad, Jason, but the spirits of Jamaicans alive and well in relation to, going out and helping as much as they can. And here we have another project that is calling on Jamaicans, whether you're here or you're in the diaspora, and others out there who are inspired to give to this project. We have noted the websites that you can make the donations to, and we'll announce that throughout the day as well, Jason, so that persons who are interested can go over and make those donations so that you'll be able to get the Treasure Beach Rehabilitation Project underway. And as well as you said, that it will expand beyond the Treasure Beach too to help others in need. Jason Henzel, who is
I do hope we get the chance to speak again, because trust me, there's lot of other people that I would love to thank.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of other people that love to thank. So I don't know if we can join the program again or have a longer section.
Sure, at another time as well, and to get an update on how the project is going.
The Separate Foundation with Cinco, H&L, S Hotels, Nicholas Scott, GHTA, the Richard and Diana Stewart Foundation. I mean, there's just a long list of people that I really would like to thank.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on at another time, Jason, to talk more about persons who are in need in Treasure Beach, persons who have been helping, on other ways in which people can help, and to get an update on this particular project that you told us about this morning. But we have to leave it there. We're out of time. Jason Henzel, social entrepreneur, head of the Breads Foundation, and of course, chairman of Jake's Hotel. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, too.
Gonna take a break for your birthdays.
Help your child to own a house with an NHT Parent Assist loan. Find out more at nht.gov.jm. The time by NHT is
8:48.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
In early May, just as hate knows love's the cure, you can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always. 'Cause now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing we'll grow older every day. Just as all that's born is new, you know what I say is true. Day. Just as time knew to move on since the beginning, and the seasons know exactly when to change. Just as kindness knows no shame, knows before your joy and pain, and I'll be loving you always. That's the day I know I'm living, but tomorrow could make me the past, but that I mustn't fear. I'll know deep in my mind the love of me I left behind, 'cause I'll be loving you always.
It's that time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. And here's a special birthday greeting. This one says, please read for my wife, who will celebrate her birthday on Sunday, July 21, all things being well. So it's a special birthday, and we are sending out the greeting early. It says, I want to send special B-Day wishes to my one and only wife, Sandra Elizabeth Suka Oliphant. Sandy, aka Sandy. You are my sunshine, strong tower strength, my all-around supporter in times of need. Though we will not be in the same place on your special birthday, I want to say how much I appreciate and treasure you for being my wife. Even in your absence, you're constantly on my mind. Love you loads. Happy birthday from Jason, Jalen, and Jana. And please dedicate a nice song for her, for me. And here's the song for you, Sandy.
That will keep you realizing you're the biggest part of me. Stay the night. Did you love and here beside me? Did you close enough to guide me? I've been hoping you would find me. You're the biggest part of me. Well, make a wish, baby. Well, and I will make it come true. Make a list, baby, of the things I'll do for you. Ain't no risk now in letting my love rain down on you, so we could wash away the past, so that we may start anew.
Also celebrating a birthday today. Oh, and this one is special. Celebrating her 100th birthday, Doris Dixon of Duncan's Trelawney. It indeed needs a round of applause. Happy birthday to you, Doris Dixon, 100 years old today over there in Duncan's Trelawney. From your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and this one says the whole family and the staff there at Lynn's Diesel in Maypen.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday to you. Congratulations. Hope you have an amazing one.
100.
100.
I wonder if I'm going to lift it to 100. What do you think?
You might. Yeah.
I wonder if I'm going to active and strong, see me.
I hope you are.
Yeah,
Happy birthday greetings also going out to Doreen Reed at Dutch Hill District and also Spring Trelawney. Something about Trelawney because Mrs. Reed is celebrating her 73rd birthday today. Happy birthday to you. The greetings coming from Sergeant Wallace. Yeah? And happy... Here comes another one. Belated birthday greetings going out to Mrs. Enid Dennis Graham of Rosemount St. James. She is 104 years old.
Miss Enid, 104 not out.
Amazing. Belated birthday greetings to you, Mrs. Dennis Graham, Enid Dennis Graham in St. James, 104 years old. Hope you had an amazing one. This one also coming from Sergeant Wallace.
Wow.
And he sent in some final birthdays too. Happy birthday greetings going out to Kenrick Reed in the Grill, Carl Everton Lyons there in Sav, Romeo Daly. Happy birthday greetings as well going out to Rosemary Wallace, Courtney Murray in Wakefield Trelawney, Nurse Shavia Johnson Powell there at the formerly of the Falmouth Hospital. All of these greetings again coming from Sergeant Wallace. And over on Facebook, happy birthday to London Paris, Richard Green, Andreen Harriet, Dana Chen, Natasha Terrell, Janita King, and is this Asa Lewis? Happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to Derek McDonald, Tiffany Jade Freckleton, Susie Gordon. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to Sanjay Smith, Council and DJ.
DJ Sanjay. Big up yourself, my G.
Happy birthday to you, Sanjay.
Yeah,
Hope
man.
you have an amazing one. And over on the YouTube chat, Ken Ellis sending happy birthday. Ken says happy birthday to me. Well, belated birthday greetings to you, Ken. Celebrated your birthday yesterday. Hope you had a good one. And Jamaican View sending happy birthday to Michael Pooh Francis over there in Portmore. And Jamaican says, I was in Jamaica to celebrate 43 years of the founding of our scout group, Portmore Gospel Assembly, and Passage Fort Scout Group. So happy birthday to Michael, the friend of Jamaican View. Checking to see if there are any more birthdays. Marigold Weber sending belated birthday greetings to Patrick Rowe, who celebrated his birthday on July 15. Belated birthday greetings to you, Patrick, from Marigold.
Anyway, the Oliphant greeting did full of lyrics, you know?
Enough lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best, you have to rise it above that level though, Tana. You can't just say lyrics. You have to come with something fancy. Let me see if I can come with something fancy. So I would say, in describing what he said about Mrs. Oliphant, her first name Sandy.
Well, they call her
Sandy, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that from Jason. So right. I'd say the melodic susurrations that emitted from Jason's pen caused his wife to swoon and fall in love all over again.
Oh, that's
touch with a girl,
that's poetic. I love it. I love it. Are those all the birthdays? Any anniversaries? Not seeing. Here's a final one. It seems Sharifa Griffith sending belated birthday greetings to herself and Jacko. So belated birthday greetings to you, Sharifa. Belated birthday greetings to Sharika Jackson, our Olympian. And Shonette Johnson sending happy birthday greetings to Justin Johnson. Belated birthday greetings to Marceth Buchanan. And happy birthday greetings to Desiree Jones Kelly from Angela Jones. Those are all the birthdays. Happy birthday to you if you're celebrating your birthday today. If you're celebrating your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well. And that's about it for the show.
You put in Justin Johnson, right?
Yeah.
For Shonette. All right, cool.
That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning. NTM. Thanks to our technical operator, musical maestro, Jermaine King. Thanks to our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, our super editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, you have the Consumer Hour, and Nora is back. She will be in her chair shortly.
You see,
and at 10, ClickViews Online. I'm Tana Thomas.
My name is George.
Good morning.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Read my mind, you make me feel just fine when I think my
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
The scales are sometimes unbalanced, and you bear the weight of all that has to be. I hope you see that you can lean on me, and together we can calm the stormy seas. When love's so strong and so unselfish,
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.